99% of you Ghanaians. Senkenya president of a helicopter, a video yanka, you people, no more idea about the devastation. What hurts and say, we as Ghanaians, we know what is right. But you pretended to say the Jimmy by Jimmy. For this guy to even get out from home, wearing these kind of things and walking in mud, it means he's not intelligent enough to lead anybody. 90% of Ghana for Bawumia say he's not stable. This government cannot isolate itself from the Esine. 90% of Yanya Yatinsium, Yenim say in so many, we know.
Boadu TV, truth and integrity.
You see, Bola song. Minke, young man, Bola song. But you are asking yourself, Bola different. It is from you. Who are you blaming? Around the who are you blaming? Now, Jamaica, hey, Yantia, President, Yantia, and I'm saying, oh, but damn, it is you. You are the cause of it. A Krobia Nipa Omudiso Ekano. Nobody should live around any drainage, any big how do they call it? How do you guys call it? How do you guys call that? Like, no, in any serious country, nobody should live close to any storm drain or whatever you want to call it. Now the issue here is sa bola ya akogu apudim na efri hin na bae. Time ani eka bola wansem ya can say we need to act. Ya can say sibia yesisi than the planning of the city is wrong. Nipa na oti MDDC officer say MCE officer say land commissioner and I say planning and fan wo. The moment obiman is sikano obe science here. Now what about you people who live in the neighborhood? You the people are muting neighborhood. What do you do? Oh, where they say family home or the ball egum ball and kwa besaba na ball and togo. The baller is in the neighborhood. Every chadwa ebeba dance man, every dance man ebe call ashibi, every lashibia ebe fanungwa. That is how it works. And we are not fully taking the blame. The government too needs to take the blame because the system, the state needs to also work, do its part. Now, continuously or consistently, let's take it from the back. A dear partner Abain aye, because if Abain starts to do something, and you one day Abain the a consistent approach to the problem. Now, for 8 years, we didn't see any massive work done to prevent floods in Accra. We didn't do it. Now let me tell you, sa ball away and sa disaster way. You see, for a long time, no, na etete ho. Because na nani yenya insua emu odin entoyenti. Na yehu the limiter ebetumako. So adia amboy and say insu na toy na be toda. Now every time you insu beto on kan say aflade no. On say who is magnitude to say. The reason was that na insu na etono na enoso na pressure nim. Now insu we na be expose any nipa na yeti krodim no. Say there's a lot I was taking care of. One, the way we plan our city. And two, the way we are filthy, we are trash people. Yeah, you baller for into insu do do na toy no. Into winim a flood and Kasebi obenya the best 7 days no 1 day flood na muhu ni sa no is because of insona toy no ne dodo no enti sanke yenya nsu dodo we ya and we will never realize this damage. But you see debiani eka, let's do something, let's take care of this. Why? That's what I've been talking about. Insona de economy to bolagum. And the issue is as simple. When you allow people to live close to storm drains, when the city build these storm drains, and you allow people to live close to it, that's what they do. In Tubankraya, there are a lot of Odo River, any Colino. Hey, let me tell you, or that the Odo and all that. It is because we have allowed people to live close to it. Now, Sebio, when I live like 2 feet, 2 meters from Sa Gata Kakrakawaya, or just imagine that's been Menjeda. I would never take it because me were access to throw it into the drain. Into unim Sa drainages akesia no nkranina no. It is basically another avenue for people to throw trash and to mess the state up, mess the place up. Because be gata no. Also, my gata kakraka. Is here the insodeba sebio emfawa obwa. Anything about Brochira, your drainages kakranka say your big gutters are such a way. But have you seen it before? No. The reason why they don't give you access to those things and then they say, nipa ye create a beer. Otnawa de ohuno and then react to. It is a obiti gata we one. That's a sebio at the end of the day. Onimse anajo obetima ko toilet dia tum obetima hwe ni ball eguma. There's no way obetima convincing the parents on the trash bin or jaya den. It is Uti Ghana, Uti in crime, Uni trash bin. Why are you living in Accra? And I was say a band Shemra. Say if you be a trash bin in Nimuno, say landlord, say if you know the rent control will shut it down, they close it. Every household, they need to go and give you a bin. You need to pay for your trash to be picked. It needs to be a law. I was say a Yemra. Now the government also needs to do one thing. The people living close to these drainages, big ones, anytime I can just say wager, nobody should live 1,000 meters from wager. No. Because around wager, no matter what, about less maybe a quarter of a mile or whatever, they are living in water. We all know. We all know. And mommy I want to say this is the first time I did we see a BCBM. And the honest truth is, it does not matter. You can blame Mahama. He's not going to be president forever. NDC, they are going to be powerful for 42 years. You cannot take the government down. You have to protect yourself by making sure, say, we need to hold these leaders, these chiefs. Yet, na obini nam kromo where the oyo hene we trust us say your hene trust us wo so say chiwutum unim nyansa your hene uko trust us wo nsuom mate se chado area wo nyina lagoon se den, and then people come to power the last 8 years menu mienu na enim se chado estate bi ho menu mienu until Ekufuado de Bawumia 2017 ba power and omo turn it chado lake they turned it into a land. We know your grass will grandpa if you feel area bia you know that place is a waterlogged area. Mameka bi binchiramu. Mo insu afa mo dan nyina 90% of you munim say bia motin insu efa ho. You know. Let's not pretend. Let's not act as if say ye Jimmy ye nim ye. Dia ekos ni nyina ye ni tua. Obia insu afa ni fie dan obia nim. They are pretending to say this is the first time. Ebi see that now buying one for sika and me video be mama bi. Mo be me dem. They see John Mahama nye hu unim say be out in ho. Obi abetena area or AC filling station. You know. Sa asafuacha wo ho. Wona odi kro na wo ho no. Wona wo se ye penyin. You know. Baby akwa DC filling station no. Ebe block isuo no. Enkwasi afoti kro no they protected that rich man. And the filling station na SM dying. Don't blame the government, and I'm not isolating the government. Abide upon abide, and this government needs to be blamed because there are some things that the government needs to be bold, some decisions the government needs to take, and it been a make so the NDC government also needs to take blame for this because right now NPP now also this is the NDC government in power. So at the purpose here, you better NDC abaso. So the NDC government needs to sit up and look at this issue critically. They need to basically make decisions, and those decisions are what? People living close to drainages, give them weeks to move from there and cover those nonsense drainages. Don't give people the room to commit a crime. In our attempt to save our own people, our decisions destroy them, and that is what is happening. Because I'm very sure, say, you created this drainages like I said, our intentions, but that decision they take here, is it helping? The decision is rather destroying us because drainages now. Now look at this video. Here baby any party. Now here be a drainage there. Look at this.
Look. You see this kiosk.
I'll tell you. Oh yeah, gata. The moment I go Odono. Now it's a cycle. Now next to Odo River, also Lagoon said next to it. Now say you this big gutter, Yankataswa. Now you don't follow warning and then I'm ball and going. I'm asking you a simple question. So me cycle, me or cycle. Now this big gutter security nano. Now me tongue idea, now me we you bring me prapra. the same AMA, the same government to say, Opton ade we apra. Na opra we are on fan he. Na adwene say odon ne da ho de mu da ho obi ani ho okwado mu natum. We are creating that problem. We need to understand. In the process of trying to solve a problem, we create more problems for the people. So the Odona Esiwano, it is not supposed to be opened. No. It's supposed to be covered. Because now, how many times can you desilt this gutter? You can't. It is big. It needs a lot of money. You need a lot of power, money to desilt Odono. You cannot. So what you do is you prevent it totally. So before you move forward, what you do is you build fence at a certain timber 20 feet. Then you commit to doing what? Clearing every shit in it. After that, the same time, you put concrete on it. Then you make sure that it is secure to the point obi to import ball and a ball and two. Then in Sobia a raw water or dirty water and no here. But today we are sitting here saying we are going to fight air flooding. We cannot. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not fucking kid ourselves. Let's not pretend to say the air cost is able to solve. You have to solve it. You have to solve it because as a nation, as a people, we are not ready to take hard decisions. Every single person living close here, those in your manner or they need to go. I'm telling you. Some VIP for to cycle market women. And we all know spare parts. Every single person because it's accessible. Because we have given them a direction. We have given them a place to dump their trash. Odono, nobody should live even 500 meters from Odo. Everybody that lives close to it should be moved away from there. What are we doing if we are leaders? If we are a nation and we cannot take decisions, that decisions are immediately it will hurt, but in the future it will save us, and then we are not building a nation. Every day, Biano, you're taking decisions as you throw. Oh, Obi Beka and Wabo Ajabone, Obi Beka Bufu, Obi Bufu, never say, what the fuck is that? Just take the decision. Send a byway and decide to say everybody close to Odo River. Wow, we are 200 meters from Odo River. Move. We are giving you 2 months. There are some people who come out and demonstrate. There are some people who come out and say, don't give a fuck about that. Make sure you are saving Omwangasa lives. And the moment you do that, you will not see this nonsense happening in Accra. Every drain, storm drain, beer, Accra beer is opened. A recipe for disaster. A recipe for disaster. We cannot do this. We cannot keep talking. Somebody has to take the hard decisions. We are not educated. Sometimes, I'm catching Ghana for Ghana, without due respect, it is a moi, especially the African. You need to be strict on us. Ghana for ask yourself why. Obi atena broche 25 years, 30 years. Onyi ni beman jonso abontene da. Obi krampo to see what abontene offering. Why? Because what they came to meet is what they have to live with. Your boga to Germany, eti America, eti UK. On tubing jonso abontene da. Jonso de shano or driving up a baby rest stop. Odru Ghana or kwe yeno or jonso. Right? Because the system allows it. We are enticed about what we see. Especially as Africans, we grew up in a system like that. You need to take very difficult decisions to change us. And those difficult decisions will hurt people. Don't fucking worry about them. The same people turn around and say, hey, what boy you? First party so tiny. But over here, they were near Tiasia and you do whatever. But so we have seen so many of it. Time at John Mahama, Air Circle, Dubai Circle. What didn't we see? What didn't we hear? John Mahama Kaso Kosikejetia, a DNC. John Mahama ne NDC Kaso mu besi kejetia, a DNC wa Ghana, and Sembe and Nipanka, a 10 year near Diabobe Niambo, and the Omwana Omjunso Konkum, Tamana old Kejetia Roha, and Bema Shoma Dejano, and the Omani baby Junso, and Emma is Yamu from Oba. That is what you do. You're a leader, you take decisions. The nonsense of pampering a Ghanaian would be say, Krono, Ghana for naturally, we are born foolish. Are you ready? Ghana ni African, we are naturally born foolish. You see, because we are born into a system that basically encourages foolishness. When we do something for a long time and you tell us, say, you become our enemy, and it is normal. Let them understand it, because the same African who is able to shit close to a market will come to America and see a market and he cannot shit there. You know why? Because he came into a new environment that he knows that's a sin. So we are supposed to infuse this. So there's the political part of this issue, and also there's the human attitudinal part of it. Let's not sit in Ghana and pretend to say the economy, until we make the hard decisions. It is said recently, you have to say, John Dramani Mahama, the president, flat we see, and a President Mahama, he decided to say the rate at which in so a yiri for the power crime. Almost every part of Ghana in so yiri, but over Accra, the intensity, what he's seen on TV, it wasn't one community, it wasn't one estate, it wasn't one neighborhood. It was basically the whole of the Greater Accra region. Now, the president wanted to have a first-hand idea of what is actually happening in the Greater Accra region. So, if you are the president, what will you do? Are you going to be the president who will tell somebody to come and brief you? Are you going to be the president who will just drive your car to circle and stand there and look at the water and drive back home? Or you are going to be the president who wants to have a first-hand view of what is really happening in the Greater Accra region, that you can have a clear understanding of the situation? A wise, intelligent president will get in the air, because when you're up, you see more than you are down. So the president of the republic decided, say, no, for me to sit for somebody to come and brief me, for me to drive to a place where at the end of the day, I don't even know how the danger is, what is happening, to a place where I can see only 5 houses. Because when you go to where it's flooded, as a human being, you cannot see beyond 20 houses. So if you go stand at Lashibu, you go stand at Chadu, you go stand, and then the cameras follow you, and then you stand there and you say, oh, do you really have an idea of what's happening in the Greater Accra region? And do you know how big the Greater Accra region is? There's the president of the republic deciding to go in the air to have a first-hand idea, the visual of the whole city, how the water is basically destroying properties, where it's coming from, what we need to do, how you can see where wetlands are and where hilly lands are. The president wanted to have a feel, understand, get a clear picture. So he got in a helicopter. And a wise man will always want to view a holistic problem than picking small bits of the problem. So that's what I want to ask you people. What MPP for say? Saying Kenya president of a helicopter, a video, you people, no more idea about the devastation. 99% of you Ghanaians, we were all looking at the situation from eye level. But saying Kenya video where about Bontine, our president got on a helicopter to go up and see damage, how far it traveled, how properties have been destroyed, how wetlands have been taken over. Saying Kenya president video where 99% of you Ghana, for including Bawumia, you would have never had an idea of the rate of damage. So the president even gets on the helicopter, giving us an idea of what is on the ground. At the end of the day, we didn't even have an idea of how far the destruction goes. Saying can you video where yet to be a question, I just say Hong Kong. The better say yes, but we didn't have an idea. Ghana. We didn't have an idea that the devastation, how wide it is. And just how video we are, and 99% of you MPP for, including Bawumia, they wouldn't have known how far this damage has gone. So the decision by the president to go up there and get a clear picture with the committee on Ongasate for them to brief him, do you think it was a right decision? Yes. Now, I've heard some of my senior journalists state that, this one wasn't good because it's not good for the optics. It is. With all due respect, we are not doing a 1992 politics. So we are not doing politics of convenience. We are doing politics of action, whereby leaders will take proactive action. So we wanted to see the president pick his convoy, go stand at one particular place, fold his arms, listen to people talk, get back in the car and go home. Is that what we want to see? Are you not going to be shocked if the president drives to one place? Now, how many places can the president drive? That was the moment all streets were blocked. Majority of the streets that goes to these places, they were blocked. We are talking about the first gentleman of the land. We don't even know where it was safe for the president to stand. A place could look muddy at night, but it could be a hole. We are talking about a president who is being proactive and being wise. It's not about the optics. It is not about the aesthetics. The aesthetics is there. But a president who wants to understand the situation. There are presidents who are toys, who just want to be president. And there are people who want to solve problems. If you want to solve problems, you need to have a clear understanding, a wider knowledge of the problem. Not somebody sitting in your face and briefing you. Because looking at it yourself and seeing the vastness of the effect, you will have an understanding of the issue. Into any president video where I can mon Ghana for more bruche and more Ghana. How many of you would have known the effect, the level of devastation science way and our gutters being overflown? How many of you would have seen it? Where we get the opportunity to speak, we cannot always sound nice and intelligent. Sometimes we need to assess the situation from different perspective. I believe that this president, the decision to get in the air, to understand the situation and its seriousness, is the best decision any president can make. But you see, what hurts and say, we as Ghanaians, we know what is right. But you pretended to say the Jimmy by Jimmy. So, as a nation, we wanted the president to drive in a four-wheel drive, wearing jacket, putting on a helmet or whatever, wearing gloves, and going to stand there to see this water moving. Is that what was going to give the president an idea of the devastation? I'm asking you people. Sana na mo pesa president here. It's in Kaonko baby bako. Now for can kwesiwo. Now unjina 10 minutes. Now no de na ko say Mahama, we adore, we love you. Now then it solves the problem. This is a president who is a doer. This is a man who always wants to have an understanding of a situation. This is a man or person or tenyo masi and son or grantee. This is not a toy president like Kufuor or Bawumia. This is a man who wants a clear and a first-hand information of issues. So the president, helicopter near Kotodo Siwono, Ade Yere Kwachichirengo, and I say Yere Ton Kerosene. Helicopter is one, the Jumani Binie. It's not just to travel in a helicopter to go for funerals or to go and visit a chief. This helicopter, the Jumani Binie, when there's a storm, and the president wants to understand what is actually happening to his people, he gets up and see the level of devastation. Right now, when he asks the president, Mr. President, what do you think about the situation? He can tell you that when you look at the devastation from this end to that end, when you look at this particular place from the sky, you can see the water running from Odo and ending at this place. He can give you an idea of what he saw from up. But when you call this comedian, this idiot, this guy, when you get somebody like this who thinks everything is politics, when you get a political party, it's NPP, say BBI politics. When you get a comedian like this who gets up in the streets, he gets on the streets wearing sneakers, you ride a bike or gym, and he gets some dumb idiots following him who goes to two places and stand there and pretend he's intelligent. That is where we get. You see, my problem with us is say Jimmy. So this Bawumia guy, or someone upon or share jeans, or share boxer shorts, or share jeans, and or share shirt, or share sneakers, or kwahin, or kwahin zuodibi, or kofa techem. And how many houses na Bawumia behu? Even where he went, I know Monsa Wabono, and Onante Bahatino. How many houses will Bawumia see? A dear pana Bawumia behu. Bawumia cannot see beyond 5 houses. So for this guy to be walking in the mud, all because Odumsam Jimmy. Or just and Murefi. And they be a catcher Ghana for MPP from Ghana for majority of MPP from Jimmy. And so this guy, he has been told to say, Ghana for Jimmy, go out there and walk in the mud. This is an exercise. It could have happened at the end of the day. This Bawumia guy would have died. You know why? Obetmetia bibi so mana woni name. Oshe edian sneakers, oshe kambu. Obetmetia prego so mana woni name. Obenya tetanus obewu. Bawumia betmetia bibi so na asenki no amana koshem ni tibebo bibi mo bewu. Ye Jimmy. So this is all about politics. It is not about being somebody who feels for the Bawumia. They see and who, because when you watch this video of Mahmoud Bawumia, you can see psychologically there's a problem with it. Yes. Inti omo anomo garden no omo she boot. And ono na ose ono odi omani no she kambu. The level of inti also every fear no. All dressed no. What did they tell him? Omo me ni aid ne yire ene nkofo mu di na chine. Den omo ka kire no doctor, ye ko baby a nsuo na to. Ye ko baby a teche no no. Doctor ye ko tietia nsuo mo. Na still doctor she boot kambu ana doctor nim nyansa. And they said doctor ka say me kwa koye de me kwa koye surgery e wo tiara. Na doctor would say ukoye surgery. Okono, at the end of the day, what dress said the ukoye galamsey. You know, say ukoye surgery. You have a galamsey outfit in surgery. Udu hospital wa you take off all your clothes. You have to wear the prescribed outfit. Surgery. You need to clean your hands, clean your arms. Make sure you don't go into the surgery with any bacteria. Make sure say the surgery you are going in, you have covered your hair. Say really be enter obiyem. Just say you know the principle, the basics. It is a doctor rush surgery. Next obey rush surgery one. Washe kambu. Washe mine for touchlight. So washe a bulletproof. About the doctor, are you okay? And this is what we are seeing here. So now obi doctor, are you okay? Because when you were leaving the house, was your wife at home? Oh my God, so you didn't Jimmy Anna, or Nim so you hospital, and one wash Eddie and Galam say what are there. So this man getting out of the house and opportunity to our run to say, or flat victims, or situation on the ground, not or sorry, no or kambu ne jeans or jeans, say, or the abra him say one. Say, or idea of the floods are, or him said the water levels are high. In fact, people say or say he has seen what is happening on social media. Then now so who say, baby I make and yeah, sorry them. In fact, I'm going to a place that people are not even supposed to go at that moment because it is dangerous. But this guy leaves the house. Now doctor she helmet or require surgery. Doctor Sebio or she mate from Pobwa or require surgery. Doctor Sebio wakako for a parachute abolichi or require surgery. Nurse is someone because the doctor we Jimmy for. Into Wobano, Ufri Fiebano, no news of surgery. Why are you wearing a mate for Tadia? Why are you wearing Galamsey for Tadia? Why are you wearing a parachute? Because in surgery, you don't wear parachute to do surgery. It's for him, for this guy, to even get out from home, wearing these kind of things and walking in mud. It means he's not intelligent enough to lead anybody. Because this... So you see what they were doing? What was that impacted by that? Bawumia picture. Bawumia didn't feel it on picture. I say they were in front of Bawumia shooting Bawumia's foot. Omu trying to nasi atachaba the nasi. NPP. Omu yin kukofi omu no omu Jimmy. So they went out. It's all for the optics. So I have pictures. I have campaign. Oh yeah. Or just a kind of word Jimmy. Mami kwa bonchina mko tete atachem na me hunye fina nkofo se me dogana. Na wan en dogana. Armed robbers omo boni po ka mukra ebotu o kam no. Omo ire no omo ba omo do omo ntino omo yesa edwuma no. Some of the armed robbers omo reason to the armed robbery no. Omo ka kire wan hwe obesum, but it's a crime. Ain't nobody can say odogana chobia. Bawumia hu say NPP for na Jimmy. Odin say omo to abama ekufu ado be wie mu 2016 no. The same people are alive. No. Ghana for abrosa Jimmy no. So now here these are the views of Ghana for omo Bawumia from far. Now some Ghanaians saw Bawumia from far. Later Omuji say, oh, nipo kwa wani, Mahama na, later Omu say Bawumia na namono. You understand how Ghanaians think about Bawumia, their views about Bawumia. 90% of Ghana for Bawumia say he's not stable. Omu Bawumia say, Onimi Nyansan to make decision as a man, to be a Rosemond the kind, right? You were in power for 8 years. That's why with this issue, no, I don't want to basically blame anybody. But you see, the rate at which MPP for Jimmy Omuji say, Obi Jimmy, no, that is what allowed people to let them understand. So only than in Nyansa. Inti okojina nsuo no de ne obeye nsuo na na. 8 years na otwam. Asenso bo achi Jimifoɔ. Asenso bo achi Jimifoɔ. Kumase na ofiri. Ni krom Kumase. Obetwa ahomam ye kwan ye overhead wo enkran. Wentumi anye bi wo Kumase. Nyansa be na onim. Inti debi ameka tell say MPP for Jimmy. Sometimes some issues is here. We don't want to politicize it, but it's the reaction of the MPP in the mayor politicizing issues because the leadership of the MPP are stupid. Yeah? time of flood we see, the NPP were the first to release a statement from Parliament. After you can kwasia, ebe catch a Ghana for say, I abino and a dien and a mudi abina tem and a chinya. Now Bawumia be catch a Ghana for say a national issue. NPP before in Parliament, led by Afenyomakin, he sought a permission from Bawumia and releasing statement say, "Yem blame NDC are buying for the floods." NPP before you knew because some way Jimia obisa minority omo. Naturally, they were born stupid. They grow dying foolish. Omo party, our Parliament led by Afenyomakin, okoji permission of Bawumia. Bawumia read it through omo statement, and on publish it say, "Sa flood ya ACR." And the issue for the pa nyoma esino yemblemu NDC are buying because NDC are buying also. Ade chinya koliko na kojina krom catch Ghana for say woni bibi sa issue a national issue intie nyina yenka ehumbom enkwasiafo mo gina parliament ka say NDC na akose mo flag bearer na oye koliko na sebio abayo bi say onya bema ne bema kitikiti say big edien cap no ono so be gina be catch say national issues when e tie no. Such a foolish political party led by stupid men and women. The question here is, my party representatives of my parliament say, "Yemblemu NDC for these floods." Yatiasiye. Adechinya, Koliko say it's a national problem. We should solve it. National problem. And blaming NDC. How do we solve this problem? You can see, said the party is disjointed. Nyansenin yenim ejimi fonaka. It's the NPP as a political party, we are Ghana in our form serious, and now Ghana in our problem because they are not intelligent enough to understand the issues. They are not intelligent enough to understand the Koliko way. He is not a leader. Rosemond the catcher or say, "Papa, Bawumia na opempia jantra for mano on your bema on to me and take decisions about Bema. Now, technically, no, or Jimmy for an argument form. That is what Rosemond told us on TV, and it is playing out. Because I didn't inform I don't know free flood area. How can you think like that? You don't know who you are. Because how can you just walk out and say, "I am going to a flood area, a flood zone. It is the water has flooded the whole place, and then you are wearing kambu." This alone should prove that you are not intelligent enough to lead people. Because you could not basically reason. The lowest form of reason to know say me ko tietia nsuom me hia long boot metime tia dade so metime tia prego so bibi betuma pa me na wa hye kambu a unim nyansampo engine say you can reason engine say the okono also ko tia nsuom. These are the kind of people a obehye kambu a ko tia nsuom na wa hye Wellington boot ya ko gym. Bawumia is the opposite of reasonable people. These are the kinds of people a me catch though otumi condom not the hye nsa not the hye num. Because now you chance the condom share and he can do that because if he can take a kambu to a flooded zone, na say onim nyanse who say baby a okod in sone yiri ebe do kotoja. This same person bet my condom not a share nsako kromotiro da share num no aka say we dia ya lewa. He is not intelligent enough to be a leader. De bia ya kan say etano onim nyansa. Bawumia, you don't know Bawumia. Na me hu say obi ti wono argue because of Bawumia. Na Bawumia so nyanipa. What is a Bawumia? This is not a human being. I have told you, it's a consonant, it's an adjective. Bawumia was a model. It is a robot made 1974 by a 1954 by the Russians. Bawumia is not a human being. When no is anyoma we no ye. Nose mask to me abian. May this guy, you take him serious at your own peril. Why should anybody take Bawumia serious? This is COVID-19 time. What's now? You know, I keep asking myself. It is anyone who concept way na aqua way and there was a kambu and namatechem. Now, he's not a serious guy. He's a comedian. Bawumia is an in and out joker. In and out, typically, or joking instinct. Or not going to me kasano osre or to me dano osre. Samina nenka centra. Entina wuche nya chance me so otumi da na osre otumi da Bawumia oda hwan kro no aso siriem ono agaze tumi sre ono an snoring na na yere kro bo Bawumia ono otumi da na osre wei na ye jiminti ye refi Bawumia enjoma Bawumia ye no krum ha me ka se me bo Bawumia nyoma wa ye no krum ha na we akogya so akogina tachem inta den a yamane be di president no me den into be di president obedi atache no obedi president in so nyina mabiom Mahmoud Bawumia nipa ne Greece na are ni robo me say the battery sha to na edum onim de oye on he is confused. Mahmoud Bawumia he is confused. The campaign message ni only oye. Me say to crown waka say Bawumia nso to no nyina otechem. Wait. Don't ever take this consonant serious. Me bu some questions say what is a Bawumia? And they need to answer what Bawumia is. Because I don't see him as a rational human being. I don't see. What is Bawumia? One day I am an economist, the next day I'm not an economist. He does not know who he is or what he represents. Yet one day Nobakache say, or you're Russian. Because on one man prusini on tiasie, the man prusilization grow on tiasie. So let's not waste too much time. When I see Bawumia, yeah, the battery for Russia to know, oh yeah, skirmishes be don't discuss Bawumia. It's not important to us. We need to support this government. At least $350 million cedis has been put in the system. We are helping. We are seeing people being helped. Let's not waste time on Mahmoud on now your popcorn to say you want to take wait. Just say honesty is there's no gas around him. Hey, akwane na ma jong jirim the food di ha no osre no hwesoro no only focus be in life. Still be no osore the posture say or say onnim baby or say Russia no omo ni kakro into nanka mu tunu man straight and they say oni or hebe they say bibi bonraization. The guy is not ready. He is not that guy, but people want to force Bawumia to be. He is not. He does not have it. You can see clearly. So Bawumia pa koliko wonimu you can see it. The Jontons be plenty. Adia way upe assemblyman kura wonye. Adia Bawumia ye assemblyman kura ya wonye. Adia Bawumia ye we upe assemblyman kura wonye. Is this a campaign message? What is that? What does this mean? Mabena nchate chiminti entu abamao. Na beye den. Yeah, I want to put this message across, a very important message. Mr. B, I need to put this out. And this goes to the education ministry. There's something happening. I want the government to take action before it becomes a disaster. And Oko Adenta, there's this school called Christ Faith School. Christ Faith School, our Adenta. Mr. Minister, this school, get fancy this year. The school is falling apart. Enkwaragu school, any moment, that school be to be so. The teachers are scared to speak about it. So if the minister is listening, Ochinopa, these kids in this school, they have to be evacuated. The school is in Adenta, Christ Faith School, Adenta, Enkwaragusa School Dining. The school building is falling apart. Abronsani bubu. We all know. Mama yantina ho emanim bumbu obiba. The moment amobetina ho ma abronsan we buoku obiba, you people will attack you. So Ochina, we want the minister to go there and assess this school. Mr. P, get me a video from the school. We have taken videos of school and we have seen the school is falling apart. A dino bubu. The kids there, they see it every day. Most of the teachers are scared to talk about it because Omugin said they'll be targeted. Now, the minister, this is your job. At least we don't want you to come tomorrow next when these kids are killed. To come and tell us, we will not spare anybody. Their lives in that school. Their young people they are willing to learn to come help this nation. Into what I am saying from this platform, Ochina, we want the minister to send a team there. If the minister himself, if he's in Accra, go to that school. Christ Faith School, Adenta. The school is falling apart. Tomorrow is a holiday. I don't care. Holiday crowd is the best time to go. If tomorrow is a holiday, it's the best time to go. Tomorrow, go there. It does not matter whether it's a holiday or not, because the next day or Monday, these kids are going to come to school. So I am advising the education minister. If you are not even in Accra, call the people who are in charge to go there and assess the school tomorrow. Mr. S, Mr. P, get me the video. Because the AC Horo, Yampesa Ochna, na Edian, a year, Mobaka say, oh, you didn't know. I am mentioning it here. Ewadenta Christ Faith School. The school is breaking down. The school is falling apart. Ura skuduma, pillars nina emre, and Korani Tuana ebubugu omoso. We don't want these kids to die. Ochina holiday is a good day for the people who are in charge of making sure the school is a school able to they go there tomorrow. Say Ochina, say yes, send a team to call. Now who say a government education minister Haruna Idrisu with two of your or a team to assess the school. We will post it tomorrow and tell Ghana that tomorrow, Ghana say, you can't want them, the education minister wanye. Until Mumbako School or Christ Faith, tomorrow or Monday, you, the parents, go to the school and tell the school leadership that you are not going to allow your kids to stay under that death trap. This needs to be solved. Wow, Babia, Christ Faith International, Christ Faith School, Denta. Monday, go to the school. Go and assess the situation yourself. So we a parent now we buy our Christ Faith. Sa school near Denta Monday morning. Yes, watch a holiday. I don't care. The minister will hear what I'm saying. Monday morning, every parent should go to the school and assess the building. Sa school in the building, it is breaking, it is falling apart. You better now man 20, 30, 40, 50 wu and send you kwasi ye. Abe State House, Abe Su, Abe King Bible. We don't want that foolish thing to happen. So this is a message to the education minister. Let somebody, let the team go there and fix this problem. Yeah, man, Korano enter sa school. Tomorrow I'll send my team there. They will be on standby to monitor. My advice to the parents and then say, on Monday, say Monday holiday, so I don't know. But any day be a school baby follow the kids to the school and go assess the school building inside. Moshe school no. Omo mutiabron sign say adani nyina proper, adani nyina bubugu nkwara no so. One day all these kids will die. Mr. P, Mr. S, get me a video. Now I'm in Ghana for ansana makomenim on this particular matter. So Ghana baby, that's a school be siho. Na school na abe death trap. A buying school, private school. Let us have the video. So Ghana ende. It does not matter where you are. Say what is school die bim. We a teacher ni. We a student. We a parent. Na school be obako sa school no. Na sa school no. Unim sa school no structure no enye. Any day school no betume bua. You can send us a message. You can send a message into our inbox on Facebook. We will put it on the screen. We will tell the education minister to make funds available for those schools to be either refurbished or pulled down for a new school to be built. It is important. It is our backward school be now shame. Now I go school no we say school no structure nenye. A buying school anytime be able to be. In fact, private schools are schools are engineering and also because we don't want anybody to die in Ghana. We don't want any kid to die out of somebody's stupid greed. Yan kwasi ye bi mo Ghana enkwasi ansambode enkwasi anyame be hwe wanan mu enkwasi we de anyame na gi na anyame yampesa ankwasi statement ni bi. We want to protect the young people in Ghana, the young kids. They want to go to school, they want to learn, they want to live a free life. We cannot put them in death trap for them to be dying. Enti wa ochena ekwo obawo school be either a buying school, private school. Go do everything possible and film the inside and outside and let us see the structure. So structuring now, you put it out and tell the education ministry to make sure. So school no move tum no ma check inquire other cluster schools so no ma fix this school now. It is possible to do. Because the school be area, that's a school be enye na aban person bubugua. Aban bet ma check inquire other area schools so na aban enya time AC school no. We don't want anybody to die because they want to go get knowledge in school. Team, I want to move forward and okay, do you have it for me? All right, I think my team, they have a video of the school. Let me pull the video here and then play the video. I know education minister will get it. Anytime I spend the time or so, I want the school at this point, school, the school is basically falling apart. And any time. Now, these are the videos. I'm in first school videos and your team, thank you very much for bringing this in. So, I'm trying to say to me at some videos of the school. The ekoso ewo sa school ho and why make us enyumbre private schools so also included. Mo mako private school. Omuji sika say we dey private school. Yeah, sure oba make sure say school na oba no kono. Eye school sebio omo building ebebu ebeku ba. Inti mo masoko private school no. Mo so mo ka ho. Let us have the videos. Very important. Na awofo no mo na de bia etumofo. Mo you don't care no. Obi beku oba ase no.
Whilst learning is happening.
So you see it for yourself. Christ Faith 2. Christ Faith School 2. We want this done. And I don't blame this government. You know, we had a government for 8 years that did not develop anything. For 8 years, when it comes to the health sector, it was on its knees. For 8 years, when it comes to the education sector, it was on its knees. We saw free SHS in Kwasiadi and Kofo NPP before did not even build one school. When it comes to energy sector, it was on its knees. When it comes to, but the issue is we made a decision to sack the MPP pigs. We brought you guys in. We know you cannot develop this country in a year. But at least you people are showing that the more say more pepper, you are willing to basically work for the people. We also are trying our best to help you guys identify basic things that needs to be dealt with quickly or immediately, so that the pressure now sometimes the citizenry put on government, it will be taken away. That is why we basically urge the government, when you hear us speak on these things, is to make the people understand. Say, abano moto, a woman say a krona say, and there are a lot of things. You guys have to do. Correct. Save this nation. There's a lot on your tables, but at the end of the day, your scale of preference, your priority, your here and the fata. These things are very important things. The lives of these kids, they are in your hands. The education minister, the deputy, get fund administration, all you guys have to. MC, MP, this is something that needs to be corrected. And there you understand, I deal with one crime. So imagine, and so I dear betching Ubu MPP kwasi pay TV so ekufu ade there ye be kai no nyoma ekufu ade ye Ghana enkran yete. Share I dear way is in Accra. So imagine the Volta region. Will Ekufuado go to the Volta region, build a school or renovate a school? He wouldn't do it. In Sokrafa unafo, Kwasia was at Chidia Kacha almost say, Omo Tuamano. Do you think, say, Adiebi SC or other part of the country, Ekufuado Bawumia, they won't do it. So we know the gravity of the situation. We know say a byway for all these years, MPP better so almost 9 years, they did not do anything. So there's a lot to do. But when it comes to the lives of these young ones, we need to make it a priority. So I'll urge the government, I'll urge the minister, I'll urge the MP, I'll urge the MCE. This is an immediate thing. Next week, this school should at least see workers come there to fix this problem. Say inquiring na mube yo mako join this school be temporarily. Now money school be there for a month or so. Move the kids from there and fix this problem. I don't see this problem as a major problem. Within a week or 2 or 3, this problem should be solved. So we are urging the minister, we are urging all the people involved to make sure next week, we will hear something good. The country we know, and so far, NDC you can see the government is under pressure because there's a lot also we're taking care of. Because Bawumia and Kwasiafono, they basically came to destroy this nation, and we all know. All right, now, I have lots and lots of things to talk about. There's another jandam in the system, Mate, and the jandam is about a locomotive trainer, Abaiwe Akofaba, sa trainer, and your regular trainer for passengers. Now, MPP phone him say, when it comes to the Abaiwe taking its time to make sure say, nyomebia yebe here. They are protecting Ghana and this government is basically handling the basics. Ghana sank about 20 years or 10 years back in Kesovia. Anka so many things are AC in the Kensi. Ebiane in Sui flats. Now, NDC are buying in a year and a half. The first thing Mahama ba power catch the Ghana for say, ya kwine, your schools, what we call infrastructure, nyoma ye betum ya chichire man de be na koma so. Into the first thing he said and say, nipa dodua omo wu Ghana akwan so. Any akwanya na ye expect say akwani nyina be say ya ama eye de business in this country. Ekuafo bre, edwadifo bre, eye de driver for bre, dipa ehwere mo nkwa. Into John Mahama Babem, the first thing he said, and he said, we need to make sure akwanya ewo Ghana a major roads, even roads are ewo communities, you know, ya fix the send ya you bet me connect or minor. Remember, NDC about power in 2012. Now, our vision and they say they will connect this nation via a road and also rail, and also by air. Into here, NDC Part 1, John Mahama, or taking over from Atamils, you know, the priority was to make sure you get better airports in Ghana. Into Accra International Airport, it was given a facelift. We saw NDC building a airport in Kumasi, in Sunyane, in Ho, in the northern region. You could see that they were trying to connect the nation. That was the same time John Mahama NDC started in Pakadan railway line, the Omuyeno Western region. So we saw say there was an attempt to link the nation, and not just the nation in the nation only, to link the nation to other African nations neighbors we do business with. Into here John Mahama one now they were more focused on air and I say aviation when it comes to air planes. There were a lot of airports that were built to make commuting from one region to the other easy for businessmen to travel, people to also travel, connect the nation quickly. The John Mahama administration one, Yewusibia, Omutumi Estate Akwain. We saw how John Mahama was able to connect the central and the greater Accra region by fixing the Kaswa, Equino, making sure that even in Accra, the business hub, circle interchange, we go to Kotokraba, Utumi SC market to link Omomo between Accra and Cape Coast. The way they were able to go to Takrade, trying to build a Takrade market. You saw KJTIA to serve the northern sector, So you could see John Mahama one, there was a blueprint, there was a plan to connect the nation. Until right now, no, Abaya Sisama John Mahama Baby, for 8 years, we did not see any serious developmental project done by the Kufuor Bawumia administration to do what? To link Ghana internally and externally. It would say the country was on its knees, it halted. Economic activities were not really working because the NPP did not continue that infrastructure when it comes to the roads, construction of hospitals, and also building markets to basically strategically to connect the nation. Now NDC is back again, and the same John Mahama is back with better vision, better ideas to connect this nation and to make sure that our roads live for long and last for long. It's a idea now. John Mahama are buying about a power and say no. What they have done is say they have brought in a locomotive. But the honest truth is you need to understand the difference between trains. When it comes to train, your trainer you the train normal do, and your trainer for passengers. Oba Bruchira, when you go to Europe especially, or more passenger trains so the passenger trains no efanipa. It's a transporting nipa from one place to the other. And your cargo trains, locomotives. I don't know. Normally, they are free and say, yes, I train with a very tough engine. A trainer, to me, a power, a heavy load. It is about Bruchia. We have something, your friend, locomotives, and I say, the cargo trains are, action, bibi, is a coal. Yaka cola, and no, do sometimes a chain boba. And then the coal, the chain a boar, and then the transporting vehicles. It took me car be a train be now cars bear 500 and a train the tobacco a train. So train now who said the tobacco the power now it to be generating it to be the load every one location to the other no and no now bro for the build domination. It over Spain, over Portugal, over UK, over some part of the United States of America. They use locomotive niti keke now the trailer asoso. Now nitino I want to what the team no and then to be dragging a lot of weight behind it. Now, when it comes to passenger train, you basically need a soft or a low engine capacity engine to basically be a passenger train because load na air fan no so. Nipa you wait and to say abo. Nipa you wait and to say articulator track. Nipa you wait and to say container. It took maybe to say New Jersey. Uko maybe to say Canada. Makoho. You can see say ultimate train be na container be 300 na train no edeko. Sa nitino your friend locomotive. Now nitino it has a lot of power The engines are not regular engines. These are specially made engines. It can withstand any amount of weight. Inti ebetumi etu efri and crying. Na aswa eye containers be 200 SCC different bucket him na edine kosirem and edine kobokina. Sa trains no ye from mo ye from mo freight forwarders and I say freight train. And no and I local language you can say cargo train and no a Chicago a weight. Now, NPP are buying a stati de debi Ghana phone me because on mine chichiri. Now, Obia we Jimmy dear. I know no so we with Jimmy. Actually, what you say with Jimmy. Now, recently na NDC are buying akofa a train locomotive train be buy for freight. Now, sa train no ni juma dia John Mahama ne NDC for person ebedini say. John Mahama ba ben mu no ka Ghana for say adikudienti opese odedien big push no eba and say ya kwan a eda Ghana no cars nketwa ene cars akese ena ekwan na nkasa no esusa na cars akese dodo no na ese ya kwan a ama sebio potholes eba so because waiter sebio car bia se articulator ayafa de timber anaka bia efritema eko ebia srem ebefa ekwan no so no ase kwan no saa weight no e wo se epekwan bi so no yi saa weight nyina free kwan no so send a Ghana as a nation no ya kwan no ebenya ahoden oba brochire a ye wa akwan bi wo ha articulator mfaso ye wa akwan bi wo ha trucks and containers so emfaso ye wa akwan bi wo ha ahweaka mfaso because weight na wo sa car ni mu no ebetumi asai kwan no the more efaso no na create some kind of amena bi wo ma ene na de bi o ka say oh ya Ghana ye kwan de nam so a na say etoto enye say etoto because quota na de ye kwan no enti sa wo de car kese fa so de bia sa quota no na ne ewia bo no na create some kind of the dent bi eno na car nketo fa so na etoto omo enti ba brochia because omo pese omo kwan no ebetoto na ebetutu na ebesai no nti omo use a lot of rails and railways and I say train kwan eba nyoma emu odu a omo ntan emfa kwan so na omo de fa train. Now, John Mahama the big push by no. Now our idea be say the big push by near Kumasi Express Road. Yes, I can copy stream. Copy aha. I was here making sure say you protect the quino. Sa a ya by a friend big push no. How do we protect it? I was say wait na a quino a befast no. I was see you sa wait the free so. Wait in the articulator car. Car said the container every kind Eko Kumasi Eko Bokina car sa achia every kind Eko Kumasi Eko Takrade sa heavy trucks and sa heavy cars no John Mahama enim say big push no must start here no say wa man eni anko ho na enya alternative a car se mu odu befa so a ya kwan ni nyina wi a endu mfie mienu miensa na kwan na start tutu enu ntina ya kwan bebre wo Ghana etutu no inti ama NDC aban adwene say dabi say John Mahama by 2012 to 2016 na otumi ye impakadan railway lines etumi wratema na etumi ko ekopie soro ho dia why don't we find a way to move a weight ye twin wotema porter containers nyoma emu odu cars akese de fa ya kwan so no why don't we now move those things onto the railway tracks send be ya akwan na ye ne de wo ho epese rie no sa kwan no pressure begusu ma ne nsei et say expressway na obitumi car kese ba tema na wabeyi nyoma car ma emuadu na watwe free enkrai akokumase a memu dodo no ese kwan no enti John Mahama ban se da bi omo de sa locomotive ne beba na locomotive ni juma di obedini se sa locomotive say every tema ebetumi afa akosombo ebekwa kopie bupe ewo srem enti now no omo ko fa locomotive ni bia ba abrofo ni use now remember sa locomotive no ana sa freight for a train no niti ba we just a train kitwa a trainer what the container 1000 esi echire betuma twene de na ko Israel. So over we town say it's a container way train we betuma for container 1000 e betuma for container 200 300 now train way and John Mahama bind the aba. This is the test run they are doing. Now the train way being in say simple. Containers are yedi babe good tema port. I was say a kofa cars every Kumasi na ebankran na ebefa ni nyina de ko Kumasi abefa the same kwan we so small car ɛfa so articulator bi ɛne akonya accident articulator bi car bi a container si so container car bi any Vox akonya accident container car bi any 207 omo ni car we akonya accident. What John Mahama is trying to do in the say sa container cars na ya kwan so bebre na befa container free tema port ebi o ha efa container ni free tema port na wait o container ni enam Ghana kwan so sa na kopie Burkina ni bi o ha ofa no nyoma free Ghana otwe no nyoma free Ghana into osma sa cars akese we 50 ni nyina nam Ghana kwan so the taxpayer say kwan no etutu na ekwan ye mra ye ne beye into John Mahama say to ease the pressure na eda ya kwan so no or the sal locomotive we aba. Right now, what is going to happen in the say? Majority of nyoma sebio yebe no temano. Sa containers ne yebe no temana. Ebi beko Burkina, ebi beko Benin, ebi beko inkronkro so a ni nyina fa tema. Na akofa akosomo, na akofa bupe, na afa the entire northern region no. John Mahama say sa locomotive we dwuma de ebedinu no. It is at least yenya locomotive we miensa. Na 90% of containers are for tema ako piako somo ako afa de impakadan trail lines na John Mahama ni NDC no for so dia kwa. How many lives are we going to save? And also we are going to be able to protect our roads. This is simple knowledge. And I'm for two kwanya almost articulate almost tracks are containers is to bibia because the kwanya is John Mahama send obey expressway 5 year 5 day and ya kwanya way bon sa ho or sa protected kwanya obey no in the sa locomotive way juma die bedin because what is going to happen in the say the northern side of Ghana no sa locomotive way ebe rani akoho meaning container bia eko Burkina container bia eko Srembiano they will put it on the railway line. This locomotive train a while power no and then the we are not going to see all these big trucks container siswa kuni power kwanso. Now we are going to use the rail. Now over the southern belt hona assembly wono the reason to hona assembly wono say the reason to NPP for started jandam said NDC abaya kofa train that biaba locomotive that biaba ne say time omo teso no Ghana for omo ka kire Ghana for say omo ba be ye den ade ye frɛ no eye Buankra Inland Port. Now the Buankra Inland Port no say nka omo ye Buankra Inland Port anka nyoma beba tema port contractors omo cars akese ede Kofi Job mu ede eko den eko Kumasi eko Ashanti region the southern belt no anka ye mfa sa cars mfa Ghana kwan so senka NPP ye impact den Buankra Inland Port na anka containers eko southern sector nyina no anka ni nyina enam sa train kwan so anka emfa car kwan so na anka ni nyina kopia santimemu mo kai se John Mahama mo omo create a picture of what they want to do when they come to power. Time omo say omo beye Buankra Inland Port. Mokai omo ye a whole presentation, visual presentation. Actually Ghana for say Buankra Inland Port na containers enam kwan so free enkran ekosi Kumasi ekos Sremni ade no. Sa containers nyina enya de omefa car kwan so. Omo protect Kumasi expressway no. Ghana for simple small cars na befa so. Na sankomo ye de Buankra Inland Port na anka ndem no kase anka containers asantefo mo Germany asantefo mo gwa broche kurase omo tisa broche bola swaba Ghana port no anka containers nya be fa den train kwa so de akọ Kumasi. Now NPP for them so mo di asanti hwamo NPP for them say omo gin asantefo ni bi ejimi and omo nim say NDC for idea wey omo di aba no Ghanaians will understand the difference between piglets and people who want to rule Ghana or govern the nation. And it's a started jandam say, oh, training yet because I'm not going to 2-4. Near to Chroma and NPP for Kotam 2-4, every may share to sabo fruit. And then what's now a Diase Buankra, a didn't want to say Buankra Inland Port. Ever seen there is no inland port. And the NPP for who say, and this for Betias and to follow do any. Omo be once Ghana for say omo Ghana for tia so omo ejimi into omo start ye jandam oh train that bi omo kofa ba Ghana for amutie me mo amwa santimemu a mo fa nyoma firi aburuchiri ba Ghana mo amwa santimemu a mo fa nyoma firi eye enkran eba Kumasi se NDC aban mo boa no na se oye sa Buankra Inland Port we se nia se bia empakadan ye tumi tam eye containers esi train so e dia ko sirem no say a brain was na me nyansa be fia na ye boa ban we na oyesa railway lines in Pakadan Buankra railway lines na ebedru asantimemu a ye house nyina etwa ye na etu kwan free eye enkran say ye de adwoma kwa asantimemu a cars ikuye John Mahama bukoya na NDC no moba be expressway no moma ye moa because ye tia ena mo ka che Buankra weekend bia no do 2 votes na ka mutise ko se no mo de ne ko Buankra no akoye ntoma mu fin no mo se na ebe ye Buankra for 8 years obi ankoto eye blog back po Buankra we na NDC ka kire se omo be ye inland port no e wo asantimemu a Niger for Burkina for munya betu ba se mo warehouse or inland port wo ene de train no e de nyoma ni free eye tema na de aba be guo e ho no no mo so ade atoa so efi wa kobu krom. This is a vision that is coming. This is a vision we are seeing it come clearly for all of us to see. Into us antimemwa, don't fall for NNPP for say a trainer and the training a juman a kotema a kuchema kwa kusubo a the amount for containers ko into one country my him for no one country and say yesramo yakoto jagu form ye din kwasi party chache mumbra na mumba ya Buankra na NDC muamu yenjai ye de twa fruma na de bia yeto na amanfo edi yeto moma mu mpanifo nkasem se NDC yesramo we de nkadankada kakra no moma start in Pakadan no maye eye Buankra no na MPP for ba ye yeti krom ha MPP for share asantifo bo say omo ba be ye Buankra inland port.
Out from Kumasi to Accra, you use 1 hour 30 minutes.
You can use na MPP nika asema na ye ya kwasiavui. Now we are Ghana ni na MPP ni ebie na no aka asema cho na ye ya. We muo we jibi fo we oti Kumasi radio so untumi na aka asa we. Ahemfo mu asantemam nya no mutie. Ye wie ye no kasa kura ye wie. Sa eye sky trade de nam soro de nam fom free nkran ba Kumasi na we. Yetina krom ne ama ejimi fo ejimi ye because ahantan ne yaw binti ne yeda wotim futurom hwenkwase asem mo kaka kire mo na mahemfo hwenkwase asem abo ewi okeka asem we wie no bodam owei wabodam okeka nkwase asem we wie no bodam ena nipa dodo ni bi omdi MPP ja se ntwe ma se ntwe amonyo momenses omonim hwian se nko ye ntiase ye de generalist nti hwe onkwase ade obaba ye mo yati kroma no meka kire mo say omo de Kumasi International Airport plane fra broche de ba omo do 2 voice akotena Kumasi International Airport edi no agro epa ne ntoma eye ne pobo ahu fi say nana ye de plane fra broche ba omo wie nana 2 car no mo so hwe bojun say ejimi yati kroma ha ne nyina hyehye moto mo nkasa MPP for ba no be di mahemfo atam no be di mahema atam no magumanim ase ne emu bie say de ejimi de akire yimu ya wo ye de Johnson ne so ya na say ye de otwe bini ne so ye num yenim nyansa MPP for we muye continuously omo kire say ye ne asantifo ni bi ejimi we are still sitting there ye MPP sam anytime me call MPP ni bi ani obeka asema na ya because me who MPP ni bi aso twen they cannot reason hwe asema na branch eti Kumasi radio so wuntumi radio so ka hwe asema na de bia na manfo nyamfa so wo Ghana hwe se sa train ya de ba yi asate twe container se ko ne da ho ti asantememu ye nti ase ukun apem abepa apem beba ena jan kwase asam na mfa bibia nko bebia ho ye primpuntu abefie Paul Adumo try the nice kokohwe de kwase awe begina Kumasi no 240 wo mampon hene to ahemfo akesete wo o ka kire omonim se ade achi a plane a eye den abrochire international plane nya be so Kumasi me no wo ka sei plane international plane be so Kumasi me no wudi nkomonde international plane be na be so Kumasi and so you can't no be afraid to within an atom. Into me call MPP ni be as a Beccasamana because in the first place, me whom say Kuko. Me whom say Chimba, Munimunyansa. Because if you can reason, so what to me Munyansa who say MPP before who saw your boy, then I'll respect you like say who you so agony. Yeah, Jimmy Dodo. Yeah, Jimmy Dodo. We don't reason. And Yakofa locomotive about Ebeki containers, Ebeki trucks, Ebeki bulldozers, and they are crossing nation without using our roads. Na Ghana for do na your first antimem kofa nyoma ye wuno, e so beteno, and so ya fear to ye ntiasie. E dear pa na mo power asasi we so. Sewia, and the Sewia Hospital, and the ye kwan no, and obia ye di Mr. P. Get me the video from Amwako Hines page. And say we are hospital no anadwo kura no mo ye kwan no because NDC aban per se or just antifo nkwa but me nuanom asantifo bi I say mebe ye ntiase aban ba ye NPP aban a ye ko sala I say moa ekoto abama NPP 8 years omontima anye say we are kwan e hospital man nipa nkoma nkwaje awo ne na wo de ekwasia ye mu bi ye ntiase ontiase say enye den impuntuo na ekono and Asantinia Brantier and a regional minister and the regional minister then Ojina Naso anopa ewia nwumbre or ye kwana tum na we be a hospital manipa agenenkwa oba ko wa fa no fa no ba na wa friend se me papa bobra ye diminti obi da ho atua saade we na do danko ekufo de MPP ntwamwa we ebe be hospital akokko kura nkom hospital na ye ndo ho hospital kanie ni wo na ye tikroma ahemfu tikroma ya so ekufo de kwase ampanyi we so ka che ne ye ne Ghana for say ye be fie ekufo ado wana fe chensin who on this earth misses just an empty bowl? Nobody misses an empty bowl. Why na fe chensin e kire wagimi and this is the reality ye tena kroma ma otumfo ebe sresrade te sa akoa mo man is Sikanko hospital na aban eje to every kumasifo asantifo ho se omuye adwuma na abaye tata mo te se slaves na president etenkran na ohene kase ebu nkotodwe te sa akoa esresre kwensa kwesi hospital. Are we okay? Okay so muade why na membu no why na eye panyini a membu no and the moment ebe kan no kura kire mo na mo bi mu jimi no ebe firi mu no na mo ayese moa mo resist it o resist say e kan no kura kire. We live in this country. You people want nothing to be done. Buankra o buankra. Yetumi tam otumfo sika mu tise bo fruit. Wejwa. Hey. Na flag is otumfo ka so anopa tututu papa ya da yamanenda ne ebone punum na na sori o we dey asanteman we dey beyama ye na otumfo ondidi anopa na otika mu. Na ye di soroku di nachi ginginginging oni ebekun aye na obekun oni ebekun ebe na mo ma wipe ye kwa buankra we dey ekobiaba. Sana mudi ohene ho agro sana mu jojo nana na mu gure ni masiri na mu di nanim twifom na asantema akonwa kese no na sebio modern akonwa kese nse Cartoon Network mu kwa no makodi ho agro no maba for 8 years buankra ene ye ko buankra ba ene nana ntoma efe ene wo singira dem ni nyina na mudi na ho agro na MPP di asantema ho agro sikedwa kofi ni atama sika mu ati se edien condensed milk ni ye de ko buankra na nana asa twimfuturo na ba ye ti kromwa 8 years kusie bi entuma bi buankra in Lamport mo entuma to one railway line kwasiafo be kai se enye Bawumia president ombe president wo hin omedi president was also. Are you people insane? And we sit in this country and aban bi akofa train aba na ebebo adwuma asesa abrabo na economy na koswa na mon kwasiafo tete wo say mon tiase ye MPP for na woni bibi enya dia train we e dada kwasiafo sanka mo train na ba anketia train na nka mo di bi ba na nka ye dada anketia ya tielo mo kofa chanchan bi ba ye say Oforiata company and akofa dia train away white train na kofa ba na way train na uko Bolivia yede ye wedding na reception for na tinam train na kufu de ne Bawumia mkofa baye uko Bolivia na ye wedding na ye kwa reception na tinam enye train na yede bobra okrom kwasiafo ya titi krom ha mo say jimifo ye ntumi nchichire man no. And you see today there's a government, there are leaders who are thinking of helping Ghana for and until I make a say this initiative by this president and this government is something that we cannot underestimate and take for granted. We cannot take for granted because Abanwe say they are ready and willing. This is the regional minister and the Anajofa regional minister now 24-hour economy in here. Amwako hine sa kwena na MP before di Ghana for them and in less than a week or two here kwano. This is midnight. Contractors go kwano so. Yet Kroma and the midnight asantimemu. Other than the Mofanko mention Casamencia, other than the Yakwana Najo. I say MP, why some moya. Confor not to be bintin of Cotias and Codimina or Chimbin Quine. Mumube Bremwe Jimmy. You don't want to reason. Share a Santinia Brantia with the Mokodin or pay to me or pay imputio or not 24 hours and I do some or Yaquine or the hospital. Emma Kwasian Payibia or your MPP treasurer, or Sasson Treswa, or Pemba Secretary. Ne yere equanimana and Penanima, no more for one for Moba, Quasia for Boko won't call away, Yasivia, Namoton Quasia Dean, Namo Becase Chinipa, and Sunipan also see hospital Mamubi. Wega, Intimina, what bottom? I am making you understand what is happening. I na mo mutim na mo da mo bi mo gese yentumi kan okran kire mo ene abrantia santiniba ende onna osora na oja na yire awawo ho na onam wuram okoye kwan ama Paul Yando na nim se otwe ama wato de party sa mo kua na yire nyima ye na kosewi akogye na wo kwasiafo ye kan bibia na mote Ghana mo de mo mpa de pa mo NPP fo no enti John Mahama cover trainer ba dada na kwasiafo kan mo de bicycle ba ya anke wa ha kwasiafo NPP fo mo de bicycle ba ya anke wa ha obi akofa trainer ba mo de mo jimi to say train nada because omo with NPP for no dodo na omo asantememu no ejimi 47 MPs from the Ashanti region mo entumi anye sewia kwan MBA hospital mo nye nyanga mo nye mmoa mo nye ntwamoa. Are you people not stupid? Are you people not stupid? Na mo ya to ababa mo asantememu sa mo mrankan no ya de mo ba se mo media jantrafo ya kan chance mo mrankan bebi apoda na mo befa mpuntumra mo bankran mo ka je say mo ye edie train deshe me na wo ka sei ya ye wie na kwasia bi tie yase ye de MPP for train kwan na wai ubuofu wamuna makase tiawo de pa na wo betuma ye wasase we so edien na wo nam ho no edien pa na wo betuma ye say wo ye nipa bi a memedwon ho wo ya moku ama me kura ubuofu obo wo dam mo de te kura na mo kan kwasiasam obi bese oje obi a mo mpese ya beje mo monhwe kwan abrantie and the sewia kwan ye guso asphalt papa ye wie asako do the hospital I make sure say my system onye ye adwuma ye da ho te wo obi elbow okra ho ban oro kwase adi na tem so adente o NDC ni na utipani NDC ni this is what your mwankasa mo fa se a o ya santini ba this is what he's doing for you people ma me fa nkyere mo anytime kanyam say sa in Pakadan eye train ya John Mahama ba mo me mo aban no hwe won yesi you see what's going on won we djuma amwako hene eye you see ye kasa na mu bi mo adwa mo so na mo wuntam won we djuma mo ya na najo we sewi akwan ye ya ko hospital ako biema e matan a mo tia santime ma o manyim we yase etuma wa form back kwasia kasa ye kan mo me nya bibia train ba ye ntiase this is what amwakwa John Mahama mo ye no asantememu anajo ewia they are doing asphalt road for you anajo kwasiafo mo bebre mo da this is what your minister is doing anajo NDC abind the oyama mo bini this is what the NDC government is doing mumpe we na mpeka ya motium enkwasiake kan kasa tantan Jimmy Kasa because yeah chechere man no mu bisa mo mpene adan ya MPP for party a sebio party a ye de kronu sikate ye party a o say mo be disturb ni pa Ghana ba fo akoto kromfo a oja demuade o chia me keke oya wie o so enya 700 pounds ono wie na o ye when say the Ghana ka wa himfio ba fo akoto na oya wie keke when na Ghana ka wa himfio sika sere ne atua no na ochia me keke oya wie nana ene nana sienie ono 700 pounds da dem akromfo ankobi nana nkoje ye ka so ochia me no nya 700 pounds anka mu bi ma fe moto keka nkwase asem ochia me keke ogina himfie ye nana wie nana na asie we dia won ti asie waje demuade akosi akogu mpaase kro sika ye de ewifo sika na ate party amamna mo de tiga na mu jimi esewi abuofuru ade na mo anko e interchange no so am interchange na maye amwago yi adwuma whether interchange or a Sewia hospital they are working even Sewia hospital they are still working abuofuru ai ye ntiasie we interchange or ade MPP be interchange so am interchange anka me kan say we so am interchange ne ye no ai we dia o kire ne de eye so am interchange ade obi na aba na oye koye Sewia ekwan no ejire besides go and find a Sewia road for me dia me di chew ye eye so am interchange no ya tra swame ya hunu infutro na ama ya sinyina ye ko ya gu swame infutro boy se ntwe o se chairman sabo subedi MP 30 years ze kwase ampanyi ebiri abronsan na obesi ye mo ano de ya inkurasesem mo nka no kora nkyira MPP ene mu bi ye gu kuro dum ti se ntwe ye nkakasa papa because obi de ade pa ba de ebuofu we ya swame ntidi ai na anka swame nke betuma ya anka MP fo anka mo nyedara ade no mo tuma ye somebody is working this is swame say where the no better swami na nie swami nie so amene na wo hwe no ubu ofu adan boss we there interchange hwe na nka MP bet my interchange kwan wa nka wanye o se chairman so bo so Jimmy 4 obedi MP oba bia ope no ne si yellow and oba no adada mo why no so on titwi obedu asantimeba odi se mu dodo ni nkoskunti no why no so tebrofo Mr. Speaker ne de Jimmy di nachi ye and ye de tena 8 years kwase ampanyi we odi Ghana for mba nyina wasantimemu eye bi oba onye oba foforo koda ne de Jimmy and amfuturo ko etirim no ne e kasa se de abodam so am interchange no obi abai no 1 year 6 months ubu ofu makasa tiawo wana wo bibi yawo mama I was not reacting to Nipana or commenting on my show. I was just reacting to Omo Santimem because Ekwana Kevin Cheno, and yes, Swami Quine, and yes, we are a Swami. Omonam Somi and Reno. Tankwasi affordable NPP Muno. But not the people watching my show trying to let me know, say, those videos or pictures are Swami. No, I don't have a problem with you people. I have a problem with NPP Kwasi from Gwa Santimem. No, because I picture be our show, picture no, Swami. I both or party NPP. With him say, day our glasses. When you say new amusha glasses, more people for more santimemu no. We should be eyes. Omani ma say new amusha glasses. I won't lectures. What we show be nim. Or no, say I do that. I know I share space. I do share space. Now over the TikTok, the Facebook, because you for ma. Musi so mu interchange papa da. Afen na ban bi besi bi amamo. Ya wo mo kokko asi wi a. Mo hu nyenyenyan se eye de kokorosa po ho na obegina TikTok kan kwasi asem. Inkurase for ma. Mo fi sa pofi. Nyan mudi the NPP ji say nyan muni munyansa ya di mputo ba na ma fe moto say boy say men na mugugu asantimemu say mproma ya ntiase na wo wanga so obusuom da be na uchiba obi ampo wu so wachima kwasiafo mugugu party man say moa. This is what people are doing. This is development. Me nyan wie ma me fa akrebi so na me mpon kwasiafo. Now express road no Ekoso. Ninyina say you see over 89 kilometer cleared for Accra Kumasi Expressway project. Ghana Armed Forces say Mr. Where is the video, Mr. P? The Ghana Armed Forces video showing us the expressway. Mr. S, get me the video, Mr. P. So, Tesiano Ekoso. Ghana military and omo make sure say e kwan na ye twafrin kan expressway na 5 will come 5 will go ni nyina no ekoso about 89 kilometers oma clear ni nyina enche ye be ye kwan no mumu bi de mon kwasi asem na nam Ghana impunto ba panama fe moto de mu chira ne say ye beti se be bibia boa Ghana na enwa mu jimi abete mu rebi saba kokko asefo ma ye wu mu kokko ase mo ma me no kokko ase na mo papa no makoto mo no na mu ba nyini no na mo ni nya adwuma kwasiafo Moji say mo Ghana na ya chichire no impeteku mate samu de be chichire Ghana na Jimmy ni bi oseme kasama NDC NPP Jimmy ni bi oseme kasama NPP na enya ntwamo bebre. We are building ye bedi mo atema akopem se mo beda ni njanka mo Jimmy papa na ya tena mo ho ache na mo bi mo Jimmy abedu nne impunti oba no ma fe moto muni madam po amuchima. You people sam kwara ni bi you don't even know the data mo bu mo nza mo ne nkokọ difference nim na enkwasi asam na yete Ghana ye bese chichire man na NPP no mu agimi ntia de bia ka chire ma monte 89 kilometers has been cleared. Now 89 kilometers no sesia no we have all these things put in place aban ebe expressway no. This government is about to change Ghana destiny. We are going to connect the nation. It's de bia me ka chire Ghana for Mr. P, get me the video you sent me the last time. It was part of the production. Inti mama ye nyina mbo abanwe na abanwe entumi chichire man no na asantefo ne bi mu peo Ghana ye be ni ye whether you like it or not ye be Ghana. Me, I don't care what you worship and what you believe in, but what I care about is the Constitution of the Republic. And the Constitution of the Republic aka kire say yemwa ne chichire man no inti me wosom mfa me ho enton a wo mfa me ho nipa a obu ne mfa me ho. What I know is every single Ghanaian needs to see development from its government. And your Ghana for Mutia Santimemu. It's me, I don't give a fuck about you. Whether you support development or you support you, we will bring development home. In Punto, you're the baby fee. I don't fucking care who you are. I don't care any who you think you are. In Punto, no, your Asantimemo Munimunyan Samu Punto, we will bring it there. first na we were being selective about where pay some and fire be a what board them uhu ekwan ya obo what board them hospitals one yare obekum. We will bring that development. We are not a stupid people. Ni abatina ni pa kitwa bi Jimmy Fobi omunya tumi awon mutumi nya adwuma. Omunya tumi mutumi fa mpunti omba. Omunya tumi mutumi nya kwan. Omutumi si hospital. Omutumi mwa nipa. Na sa ankwasiafo we are distracted here for 57 to 69 years. For 69 years, the same group of criminals, the same group of ademudia bribe reincarnation for asaba distabu nipa. Adia Kwame Nkrumah fame no and no one as ankwasiafo we asaba some the fame. Problem a Kwame Nkrumah fame no and one repeating 2026. And then kwasiasam no. Oba Ghana krowe mu a there are some group of people omo dia wa imagine say Jimmy we will force development on everybody. North, south, east, and west. Everybody will see development. I didn't question no. Mobile number the bed na betu yeso. Mobile number the bed na betu yeso. Nana do danko kufu ani Jimmy we power. And I'm with these 6 regions beka Ghana ho. That time na Ghana enye krobia na school ho. Enye krobia na kwanda ho. Enye krobia na budget podru ho. Nana do danko kufu ani Jimmy we ba say yes for 6 regions. 6 regions e kufu ani NPP di bae. E he fa pa na nya puntio. My say moa. Because you wanted to isolate some people. Because you wanted to create that avenue that you people can suppress some people. For the Jimmy way, or 6 regions in Ghana. Imagine we had 10 regions in Ghana. Wouldn't be a development to do. But in Kwasiafo Weba, Yanam Kwasuna, you're cruising, na Jimmy Ford for Yataba. Yanam Kwaso, you're cruising, normally Bawumia. Yanam Kwaso, you're cruising, no Makofati Chidianaba. That is what they do. They are a distraction to this nation. Because in Chamwa Frame, they don't have any sense. This should tell you something. And I'd like to applaud the Ghana Armed Forces, the CDS, all the senior officers working with the CDS, the men on the ground. I really applaud them because you see, this is how you build a nation. This Accra Kumasi Expressway, one of the biggest. So you come in Nkrumah, Akosombo Dam or anytime a motorway. This is one of the biggest. Ambitious. Like you need to be ambitious to be able to commit to this. We should not underestimate what John Mahama is doing and the NDC, because you see, this is an NDC vision. And whoever takes over from John Mahama, they are forced to continue this vision. And it is very imperative that the NDC stays in power for 42 years. That is the only way we can realize this vision. Because the NDC is not built around an individual. The NDC is built around vision, a particular vision. And that is the vision that they are basically seeing to it, say it has been realized. Don't see this as a joke. The Ghana military, when we have they complained? No. Menoka say, and you no good accommodation. Menoka say, and you na sebio, the omo penomunya military. Menoka say, and you na omoba military, the omo person saka. They are also doing everything possible to make sure, say, the Ghana military, at the end of the day, omonya edidia, recently, we saw the CDS, they are building new buildings, military men to stay in. This is what you do. You build a nation. You cannot do everything at a time. But when a government is a government with vision, now when your leadership are willing. So when you see this new CDS, you see his people he's working with and the commitment. You see, people work. When you see the armed forces work, commit to a particular project, even though it is their duty. It is all about the leadership. If you get a leadership that is consistent and understand Nipo Mushomase and they relate to them perfectly, you get a soldier for to also commit to this. And you can see from the video, they are really committed because they feel, say, they are doing something where in the future, their names will be mentioned. So I really want to applaud the new CDS. And so far, I've seen the armed forces change for the positive. I am seeing some who sit down. I'm seeing how the coordination between different sectors of the Ghana Armed Forces. And I applaud the leadership of the armed forces. In fact, I'm very surprised about the sudden positive change this new leader, the CDS, is bringing to the Ghana Armed Forces. And that is what we want to see, the consistency in leadership. How the people will commit to their work. And I plead with the leadership of the Ghana Armed Forces. You are doing your bit. Recently, I saw the CDS cut sword for new project. I'm talking about armed forces facility, accommodation. I will urge the leadership to, at the end of the day, the government to aid the Ghana armed forces. They should help them. They need better places to live. The leader is willing. I can see a new Ghana Armed Forces, new leadership committed to the job, and I want this government to meet them halfway to help them with this project. Our accommodation is very, very important, and I'll speak on this every day. I like what the CDS is doing. He has brought something new to the Ghana Armed Forces. I want the government to meet them halfway. With the accommodation, it is very important. And I'll urge the president, I will plead with the president that our military is something that we cannot basically neglect. They need to live in accommodations. It makes them feel also respected. They need better accommodation. We need to take the accommodation serious. So I'll plead with the president, this project by the CDS, the armed forces today leaving their families behind, making sure they are creating the path for contractors to start constructing this massive project. We also need to see to more accommodation. And I have trust in this CDS. I believe in this man. He has shown in this short period that he is a leader who has a vision for the Ghana Armed Forces. And I will do everything possible to support the Ghana military. At least the Omo Yekra say they are committed in helping to build this nation. I really applaud them for that. Support this Accra Kumasi Expressway. Let's keep the NDC in power. Let's support them. Let's protect them. Let's keep them in power for 42 years. We will see lots and lots of these projects because the NDC works with a vision. The NDC is not about individuals. The NDC is about you, the Ghanaian, how you get the development to change your life for the better. You can see clearly, Mahama directs release of 300 million Ghana cedis for flood relief and mitigation. And the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama, catch the finance minister a day or two ago. So I'm releasing over 300 million Ghana cedis. Na nipa sebio omuwaka insua etoye ese nwane ese japade eku nipa no sebio Ghana aban so ebetumi aboa na omo a sebio omo bebi da enimενimi no aban bepe bebi mo de omo tiato ene sebio nyoma asai ene senia yebetumi afa kwan bi so ama de esi no atoyerenchema esi no ensibiem enti saa sika aban NDC aban John Mahama instructed the finance minister Menoka say the finance minister sasika no de ama ministry was omuji sasika no omofandi djuma inti Menoka say nsem asisi nsu afa nipa nipa bi ehwere omonkwa ebi moja pade nyina say omohu de omonya sebio bebi omoda no omonim bebi ade chekra omeda no ende aban NDC aban John Mahama dan no sa aban no ama finance minister sika every contingency fund. In fact, you can a contingency fund. A buying way NDC a buying by Mrebino and omote sa contingency fund. Say Ghana kwa him I would him at the insu afanipa ejuma afsay nipa ejuma ekunipa amanipa enye baby ndasa Ghana for na sa foot one friend contingency fund no eho ene yeko se oman na yeko yisika na yede bo edien yedi si nyoma bia no enti John Mahama NDC a buying e contingency fund buy Moka say contingency fund we NPP a buying by power from 2017 sika na ewom omu di ni nyina ema mbre bi kra ye frɛ ofori atamade ba parliament say contingency fund no adenti na sika ewom nyina asa NPP aban na Bawumia edi enim eye sika sam totoye no omu na omu de contingency fund ko si awawa sika ewom nyina no omu di ye and the NDC asaba ama contingency fund we ama sa de sika foto asa begu foto nim ama asema esi John Mahama a direct minister of finance say onfa sika ni bi onyi bi na yemfa nhwe Ghana fo ama mo ho kire omo ene sika ni bi so omo sa emfa entity gatem omo sa emfa entoto nyama sene be ya yarewa ebefri sa insuo a eyiri mu nipa bi a sebio insuo eyiri no emama omo nyama bi asai insuo ene gates no omo fa entity gatem na omo fa entoto nyama ma sene be ya sa to yenkyerem we esase bi ma yentumi enko na yenka say yentumi ambo ho ban yentumi entu ho anamo enti me no ka say John Mahama, I'm a finance minister. Over 300 million Ghana cedis. Sika ya kan ho asemi say usi menhia sa 50. Sika no still enkum if you say sika esu yie. Enti enuanom ade we na kire oman no president no sebio adwenepa akomapa ene senior ono so pese oman Ghana sika ye de ato no ye de boa Ghana fo a omo ho aka na eba ensem wei ene nsu etoye ene nipa dodo a omoja pade omahwere ene ndwuma nsu wei asai ene mantem adan a ebuogu a asema ano adin yie na there's something we need to all understand atoyenchem wei a eto Ghana ebi sebio yeni ankasa making ena de to ye no so no sebio obi beka se insu eto ye no na insu na wadin ye nanso obi be se entate abo antate oni se debi sebio insu beto sebio ewia bebo inti debi otowa na oye den o siesie no ho ofa eduane a na o de akosie baby because oni se da achi bi no asem betumi ato insuo betuma ato eja betuma ahye na adentina as a nation yenso yenye proactive ne entina nka se ebia ato yenchem betuma esi na ato yenchem na ebesi no yaye ahoboabo a yedi besi sa ato yenchem no ho kwan ana eno ne the main question we need to be asking each other. We have to blame the authority somehow, and also we have to take the blame as citizens. Now sa insuo ya afanipa nipa bi ewu de sebio endan ebuogu sebio indwuma asai no question na ebusa nyina nse wana fault yentimi ntina Ghana na yen sori ne yenka se we die politicians amwaye entina ende yenyomagu abontene yen nyina yete Ghana mohweme from the west, south, east and whatever you want to call it. Obia nim se bebi ote unim se wuti nsuo ma unim se wo area no nsuo emu na wote a you know. Say unko school insuo hook school ana edan ho school kra oko high dan na sa dan esinsuo ma edan no ho kra no be kire wo say edan na wa high no esinsuo enti 80% of any Ghana for yeti baby insuo no we know say we are living in water, we are living in waterways yenim say edan baby esi edan na ya rent no obo etumi ka kire say edan we de ne boafu efri say baby esi no insuo ta aya na ateche wo ho you know. Mama yam pretending here what to say sebio de esino ebin sida. We have to blame authority. Now answer the beggar say you be blame authority no. I know say some people will say oh adentina there asem we see and that the NDC power. Now KevinTaylor say you blame authority. I am not saying we should solely or we should wholly blame authority. We should blame authority because one, when the system and make us say authority make a buying, when the system at the end of the day, things are put in place. At the end of the day, say the effect, and I said the impact, and and I'm talking about when government are elected, they need to, at the end of the day, make sure say system need to provide an environment, even though and to me my 100% protection. I was say it to me my regime, it to me a buffer. Sebio at to yanchem say sia, you bet to me sevio impact and as a damage no and to me and cost as crazy. Now let's step back a little bit, and we are not here to equalize. I hate equalization, but because of the NPP 4 year, because of Nkwasiasema politicians because of Jimia young politicians we always have to go back and remind the people that what is happening today, the government of the day can be blamed to a point, but you cannot blame the government solely because there have been government upon government that were supposed to be proactive. In less than 10 years, 8 years ago, there was a government in power. This government cannot isolate itself from the AC. And we all saw the AC. Nobody can sit on TV or radio and say, the NDC government should not take the blame, some of the blame of what is happening. Then Nandi Panwa bottom. Let's be factual here. So it's not TV so. No, because you're a political commentator, or because you're den, or you're Kasama way, or your way. No, because the government of the day should not take some of the blame for what we are witnessing today. Not Sandy Pano or your trophy on Kanokre. Now, what we are witnessing is it's the neglect. But for now, is the NDC government in power, and nobody can go and say for Adia Esindeno NDC no power. Yanko blame NPP for Nkwasiafo. We cannot do that. The NDC government should also take the blame for what has happened. Now, Obibeka say insuno fa nipa no. Sebio, can you control insuno? You cannot control insuno, especially insuno etoy no. You sa magnitude of insuno etoy in a very long time. But the issue is if we have been proactive for a long time. Anka the impactor in so way flood way anka ye nyane sa anka nipa bi ehobeka nanso anka ye nipa dodo say ehobeka. So let's be realistic. Now we are always blaming government. We are always saying me will videos 1 or 2 3 videos now maybe any other people be omokoye den omoko interview omo aban behwe me dem so nyina me dem nyina say and then aban ne be. The question here is aban they not tell you to go and rent where you rented. We need to be responsible as a people, because one, what we need from the government is to make sure say trash some of the reasons in here flood way by then the system needs to also help us. The system needs to provide dustbins all over the place. So about brochia Abani provided their bins. Abani that's what Abani is to make sure sa ball and their good bins in no then ye ball and the court. Abani has to make sure say gutters kwampa gutters drainage papa in so film. Abani's responsibility to make sure say gutters gutters here to me team nipa bi entumi ensi gutter no with their own wall. The government or the system also has a major role to play. But you see, when issues like this happen, now you try them, you try fee, now you try TV so now you create impression. Be say, abani no fault totally. Now you need Jimmy because this is the situation. In so we are FIA. Say abani at the dustbins, abesi Ghana. We have seen people. They have deliberately decided not to take bins from the government because they will pay for their trash to be taken away. And no, is it the fault of the government? No. And it does not matter the government in power. It can be NPP, it can be NDC, it can be CPP. But yeah, the ball aba, obiti mantem, or say ball GB. Then we allow the person to go scot-free. The question here is, Sani pana wanje ball adiano, and he not the ball agu. So, baller. Taking bins, it should be mandatory as far as danya sebio obidia renti obi ana obia si ani patimuno. A bin has to be a constant thing. Ultiminka say me will feel a bin is supplying trash bins. The government they have to give you the bin. If you refuse to take the bin, you have to face the law because obola no be. That is the question. But this is a situation where the system no it decided to provide the baller in our Ghana. Are we willing to take the baller? There are so many people living in Ghana, how many bins? And there are also people in Ghana, bins near their bano, no maberia, no makoton. So our attitude is also something that we have to do what? We have to also look. Because ushe die esin nana, debi ameka tre Ghana for, sa de we esin, ebese sibiem. Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and make it look like, say, I need to protect anybody. I'm not here to protect anybody. Because the one now for is so I say I'm dying. I would say a few months ago or a few weeks ago, maybe I catch the Ghana for say. Sir, a year day, Bola ya yet Obian Peso Bekasa. In so the area, baby, I will expect to say so the bebano a honey beba. And you see, I'm one of the Biacas or the slums. Oh, where would ye, baby, I want to hear for a tour. Where would ye, baby, I want to know what to say, baby, here for to know in Solo. The water found its way to places I now expect to say Solo. Why? Because we all fail to speak. Yet, Timantem, na Obiaba, na o sit dying, ewo insuum, or Hene state man to ho, opinion leaders to ho, we allow the person to build. Yet, to Chrome. Now, a month for we can see clearly. Say, as you may see your project way, this project is going to cause a lot of problems. You don't expect the president to come to Latobi Okoshi, the president to come to Chado and come and fight. Let me tell you, whether you like it or not, the people who are supposed to make sure these things work, and Mamika Bibincha Ghana for all over the world, civil servants, some of them are the most corrupt people in the world. And sometimes you need to understand the say. So obiti lands commission, obiti forestry commission, whatever, planning and then they don't fucking care. Or no, or to say robot. Say obikas when you so ha, obema nipa permit, obejisika, obema permit. Now what about your people, you the people living in the community? Because we should make it difficult for people to be able to build in places they are not supposed to build. Sometimes we need to use our common sense. And to say civil servant to be to lands commission or to towns and planning or to municipal assembly. Now say or granted documentation, sir. So depending on document now, we in the community should be able to stop the person and say, no, we don't care where you got the documentation from. But as we live here, you need to hire waterway. And we the people here, so we're blocking so we are. So we need to be people who basically fight these things. Well, you cannot change a civil servant. There will be a water land commission for years. What's not MMC said what they know they are taking money, they don't care. It is a better Ghana. Not the piano, ya bought a bias or NPP are binding, or my idea, almost see that a Pajisica, and oh dear, it's right. They did it. They are careless, they are stupid, they chop the money. But what about us? Because we need to find a way to protect ourselves. We in a community, the honest truth is nobody should build about 1,000 meters from Wager Dam. And then Wager Dam. We are not supposed to see any house that is even 1,000 meters away from Wager Dam. No. Dam, no. From the dam, there the edges of the dam, and also the banks, about 1,000 meters. And these are things we need to admit. Maybe 1,500 meters from the dam. No matter what, they are going to get flooded. So as a nation, it is always not about we staying at home. Yanyoma say, and the president Yanyoma say, no. What is said, the party to be Yanyoma say, no. It is you. But you were sitting in the neighborhood. You saw people throw trash there. What ya? Wajib dustbin. Uneba any dustbin. Now you think so uneba no ball and I no go. Oje say uneba no ball and na only bino or the ball and the kogu. Where do they take their trash? They are going to throw it in that gutter. How many begu ball in him? How many begu gutter in him? How many begu area? In so area. What Dana told $1.2 million? No, ne Dana wasting 30,000. A begu Dana togu. Are you going to blame the president? You cannot blame the president because you refuse to do your civic duty. There are things that we as citizens, we deserve it too. Here, videos. Look at this. This is during the flood. Then you sit there and you are blaming the president. Oh, but damn. You need to understand what the government is doing is what they are doing. They are supporting. Sometimes we are not going to, or say honest, we cannot isolate the government. Whether NDC or MPP or KKK, we cannot isolate the government. The state needs to do its part. And the part of the state is to provide the bins. The part of the state is to make sure gutters, basically good drainages are built. The part of the state is to make sure the system is structured that we cannot abuse it. Because you see, Debia Mekano has said, our system has been built in such a way it entices us to commit crime. It entices us to do things we are not supposed to do. Because when you live in a neighborhood, now say gata dahoni and kata aswa, the probability of somebody who doesn't have a bin throwing their trash in there is high. You cannot stop it because they are enticed. They are forced to do it because they see water running. They see the water going. It's night. They'll drop it in. So the state needs to be blamed. Whether NDC or MPP, I don't fucking care. But we as a people, what are we doing to force the state to do what we want? Because Ejapadiano say, it is us. Ejapadiano Esbugua, it is us. Yani eti Ghana tenkran tete nkrobe bresua insuo yiri 90% of yani ayeti nsuom yenim se nsuom ne yeti we know. Now MPP for no do domino because metekasa ne nyansa etumi ema omunuano ma sebio omumbi agimi e wo MPP no cause ampa sa brantie nyame na ehira no. Yes see sebio yemfa de ben de nipa ho abufo nkansem na brantie ne medina tebasa na menim sa ne kasa ye go for no Nicaragua for sa de di adanse na ye kasasa na yi hu na se konkonsa de ejire hwe Kevin jai ai obwa emfiri na kubem eyensam keka ai se me nyini on Nicaragua for asase so I am a Nicaraguan. I am a Nicaraguan. It is a soup. It is not a soup, sorry, it is a stew. Now near tia and an ancien near Shikra near the Yenia Bre Emma ye de Ghana beko and na eye Salam Mustafa Bekache say oh a brand about why a lady biana or why a party I could join the NDC. Now lady na could join the NDC into MPP for bebrebu ofu. And I think the lady made a comment recently. Her own opinion. The way when I make comment here, it is my opinion. Obi have the right to speak their mind. Until lady a comment, about how she feels about the MPP, why she moved from the MPP to the NDC. Fine. I mean, I don't care about those things. Obana and Echen arguing because she used to be part of the NPP. Now, Sister Naka said it is a soup. No, now MPP for said no, it is a stew. Why are you bagging? Has somebody bagged? Lady Nika said MPP it is a stew. And MPP for said no, it is a soup. Lady Nika said we are na MPP for youth national youth organizer on a Bawumia 8 Obwa Bawumia from the time Bawumia power on a Bawumia and Nam Bawumia campaign or Jim honestly a 10 it is a Bawumia and Oba wanted to say no asana lady Nakano Sebio Obechi Magana for one say bo ya de tie nke bi hyemu Nicaragua for be kese a omo pepa no achia na achia so emu ye okọ Nicaragua e ba ebu ni first no say ye de ba beji usika edi na say ye beji ademuade a yes bo asebe de aka na obi anim say sebio Chiana Cherembuye, Moja de Boadu Chensu, Omoboa, Obeju Sikedi, I Ademudia, Sabeni, Buna him pa, and another for Kotobu, and Odinska, I Chana Chia, Nembuye, na every year, ultimate use Uyemun Suno, emphasis one ship, or patch say, hey, Bafu Tony Chrono, Bafu Inti, a year time I saw the Bayero, and a year Mustafa Salam, or national youth organizer. Oneba Bawumia and now ono nimba Bawumia chairman. Memiti me nimba Bawumia. The honest truth is that me who Bawumia da. It is so shocking, right? Yeah. Memiti Mahamudu Bawumia me who physically da. Obi abe who da. Eye de Ekufuado. He came to governor's seminar at Washington DC. I filmed that seminar. I was there. 2016. When the NDC were campaigning, NPP were campaigning 2016 elections, I was in Ghana. I filmed with my wife. It was a documentary I was shooting. That was the first time who different politicians were NPP and NDC. I think that is the time I who John Mahama for the first time in my life, 2016. Yeah. Trade fair. I think, where did they have? I think Ekufuado, they had their final rally at Efwa Sutherland Park, if I'm right. And NDC for a final rally, trade fair. If I'm right, I think because we shot this documentary for some outlets. And that was the first time company me who mama no ojina car no she red. And when I was filming myself and my wife, we were filming. So I saw it clearly. I zoomed in. Now, inti me nimba Bawumia in office that me who gani da in my life. There are so many politicians in Ghana. Me who me over NDC from the top. Obi to say General Secretary of NPP me who NDC me who da. Fifi Kwete me who say that with my eyes. Me who say Fifi Kwete the General me who da. I said you get physically me who da brabo. I can show you executive NPP mu NPP for the be brave MPP me boss is here better than talk I because we need pano no we need pano no hey woni say dem ye nyina woni na kasa intina na NPP for members me bomb de no omo ba krom ha ya me ne omo na ekodi me ne omo de tenase young ones no be ba ku mienu bi sam ya wuku kojo pa omo ye me nkofo me ne omo tenase di nkomo inside enti me unim nipa me nim nkofo me need time for nkofo de nipa bebre ni bomo enti atia na eye abayo an kasa na Mustafa Salam ono ne Mahmoud Bawumia nante from eye 20 eye de also okay NDC had theirs at stadium and MPP trade fair. Yeah, I remember very well, 2016. That's right. Yes, that's how we filmed it. I think MPP was trade fair and NDC stadium. So that's where we filmed it. Now, abayo kasa wie no na Salam Mustafa said no asam na abayo na ka no ono onim Bawumia cha abayo no, but you know say sa lady na ofri MPP eba NDC no na oya special aid to Bawumia say Bawumia dware a otumi kokobom kokoko your excellency me patch obi hwehwe so let them wait what say Bawumia twitwe ne say let them wait enti onim Bawumia say bia Bawumia pe bibie dia ono na Bawumia friends bra get me something nice to eat. Something nice, soft, very, very succulent, something that I can really feel. It's lady no Bawumia chem majority of you. It's because says our time no munyina muji to NPP for na enimu post lady no Bawumia personal aid. Na enimu da. Say na enimu so to me Bawumia dem ekwaje paper keke. Oh, your excellency, can you sign here? Bawumia dampe mu krampo na bedsheet katare ho a otumi sorry na we yi pen in the side bed no you know a sign so you can close the door behind you. It lady no nim Bawumia. It is a kokra na okwaje document free Bawumia. It does not matter where Bawumia is, what he is doing, in which position. She didn't care because the Bawumia aid no. Na me committee I never knew. It about you the free MPP ba NDC no. And Wabeka Sana Salam Mustafa only the onim Bawumia. Any lady where relationship chobi and Mumia go to Salam Mustafa. Na minimum da. Na minimum da say Bawumia kata to nsa frɛ ɛyɛ Salam Mustafa ka say matise lady or your pimp. Ya ka say pimpa. E te say sebio Bawumia ebuta say obi a sebio oboabo ajantrafo ano na sebio ode ma etitiru ɛne form pimp. Na nye de bia na nye sele nye titiru on se bi mo nye titiru but e bia pimp nim no amane kakra on se efia koto sei ono oye pimp ono say no enche se also paul ba ne ho fe en de apie walo mukuo ono de ohyehe ono de hia ne se wabo ode be ma wo enti enya pimp nyina na pimpi ema eye etitirufo pimpifo bitumi pimpi abodamfo e de ma nipa bi e dependent de ewo go ejejire there mesi ya wo mia na papa na ojima wo no I Dr. Kevin ojima wo wie no say ode pasoma papa on twa me umbilical cord no say o kasa kasa nti we papa twa me furuma no o say nchirechirem ene je mtumi chirechirem na ye de nchirechirem so esi fa pem so nti ye nuanu bebre wo ho a brofo na o kan nti ama omo nti de omo kan ase abrantie we ye frɛ no Mustafa Salam ono ene ye national youth organizer oni Bawumia na nanti abedu nne abayo okana so friend Rosemond no ye NPP ni ende or NDC na Rosemond no be kasa na nse ma NPP fo buofu e ma na omo ya madwene se ende ye ntiase ye be kan de oyeye de eye Salam Mustafa e kan nyina na se o se na oho e na Mahamudu Bawumia friend se Salambra o se Bawumia wentiem o se Bawumia ka se o bra na miri ni fi e na o se o fide o call Bawumia ho o say anima de kwenti Bawumia friend quietly a o ka chen so Samira ni fie na bra enti Salam Mustafa say Bawumia friend say ombra the office e o fie na ombusa na sembi enti o so call Bawumia office no e na Bawumia say tupono nim e na Bawumia say onto gate nim e na otum kakra e na otena Bawumia nim e na Bawumia say abayo ya friend Rosemond no what is say or the mama mema e na o say oh Bawumia asemi de okan brofo na midwom yo o kasa bebo akobia wo de ono so your excellency Mahamudu Bawumia eye abayo no Bawumia sem obusa abrante na se Bawumia our knowledge or say are you aware meaning Bawumia already knows say ebia lady ni de oye no but maybe he wanted to know say Salam Mustafa you try to kwatia say bi oye kwati botton ono so idea say oba ne se ne be ya ebia Salam Mustafa be wun say one ebia Rosemond no alleged Rosemond no say na or the mama na enye Salam Mustafa wanwa o otimase because we can say oh Kevin are you aware meaning me and me busa ask question I am already aware if I am not aware I wouldn't be able to ask you the question in this who study Bawumia question na Mustafa Salam say Bawumia busa say are you aware before I ask you are you aware of something that I should know what I am asking you. If I have no knowledge, then my question wouldn't be, are you aware? My question would be, do you know? But I will not say, are you aware? Because before I say, are you aware, then I'm already aware. In Bawumia, Salam Mustafa say, Wunim say, one can say, Wunim, or say, Wunim say, I hear Rosemond or Chichema. And as Salam Mustafa say, oh, me dear, Mati, Yakeka. Ye tietie ensam aninam framam na sebio men sedanim because Bawumia wanted to be sure say Mustafa so yamani biana yamani bi na said be ya Mustafa ba na obi hye eya Bawumia table ase na sebio ekoso a enye Mustafa nwanwa enti Bawumia Mustafa say Bawumia friend no Bawumia busa say are you aware and Mustafa say bo wofa your excellency I am not but matete oh yenim yekeka udukumasi asane kano yekeka
upon further checks it was established that it was not true. It was not DMB that asked her to do that. You cannot use the man's name in such a vile manner.
Moment twas wa ha said be enuanom a omonte brofo se bi on pese omuti asem no ti ase no omo so beti ase na o kasa no Mustafa Salam e ko denim no say a year later na oti say Bawumia officer eye Rosemondi eye adwuma ho na ensam kokoso oso otiti bebre ni na mfrabem na question person be busa Salam Mustafa no say what will make Mahamudu Bawumia ask that question because that time now 8 people had been killed during election 2020 Bawumia didn't care that time now insua fa wonafo ema nipa bi ewu ema oma displaced Bawumia did not care to ask you about that. Bawumia did not care to ask you about even tardy girls are no more da. Bawumia did, as the vice president, the head of the security police council, he did not ask any question but question here Bawumia and it's there Rosemond or your pimp and answer on your pimp. Are you aware? Very important. Are you aware? Say Rosemond your pimp. It people say so this was what was worrying him. That was the only thing. One friend, the national youth organizer of the party. And your only question to him, any Rosemont, whether she is a pimp, if whether Salam Mustafa is aware, say Rosemont a pimp, it's not interested. And one say, Bawumia friend, the national youth organizer, come to my office. When we say Rosemont now yemi aid wahano, do ram office hano, do to be crata brem or demono, Mate say, we are aware, sir, or your pimp. Then you ask yourself, it's vice president and the biggest problem, no. Nipa, ya body part 2020 elections. Bawumia didn't ask anything about it. The dollar was close to 24. Bawumia did not care. Fuel prices. The fuel was almost 24 to a liter. Dollar was almost 18. We were talking about inflation close to 57. We were talking about unemployment rate getting out of the roof. We were talking about interest rate. People could not even take loans. We were talking about an economy that was basically collapsing. Bawumia did not feel about anything. He did not care about anything. The only thing Bawumia cared about was to inquire. In fact, wasn't to inquire, to double check whether Mustafa Salam or himself Rosemont Sebio or Laini Ajantra for. Now, the question here again, answer the met one in some no. Now, Sana Rosemont, your pimpa. One among another Rosemont, a pimping man among MPP. Bawumia problem in answer from Salam Mustafa. Now, Abusa said Rosemont, unim so or your pimpa. Said now Rosemont, your pimpa. Who was Rosemont pimping to? Who was pimpilizing? Rosemont, who was basically, who was the client to Rosemont? Because the pimpilization had to be pimped by pimpilized, by a pimpilized person. So who was the client to the pimpilization sector? Now, Mumian can some in Samana Salam Mustafa, Bawumia is sounding like a pimp gang. He's part of the gang, the pimping gang. Mahmudu is a gangster. He is a gangster. Now, Mumian ko dena Salam Mustafa eke kan brofu mi dwom nyenko enim. Salam Mustafa ka no see. Afei, oni Bawumia di san komo no nko awi okọ no, on say later in samu sisi Bawumia office. In fact, Okabibi or say, when the lady started following Mahamudu Bawumia, when Rosemont, or see time Rosemont started on the Bawumia A2 among, somebody following somebody. Especially a vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Not anybody can just get into the circle of the sitting vice president of the Republic. They lie bad. There are so many MPP for they don't have the right to go close to the vice president. So if Rosemont is following the president, the vice president, then it means that the Bawumia no vice president, he gave the green light, his security gave the green light for Rosemont to be following Bawumia. And following, we use that word advisedly, because when they say somebody is following a politician, if it's a nipane to me a breaking security, a politician, then it means the politician is aware of the role of the person following him or her. Salam Mustafa said, when Rosemont began or started following Bawumia, meaning Rosemont was given the green light by the Bawumia team, Bawumia himself to be following him. Mustafa Salam who said, Bawumia nankasa na ma ho kwan ma Rosemont beka the circle nim. Now Bawumia, if you are aware or not aware that Rosemont is a pimp, why would you allow Rosemont to be following you? Bawumia busa Mustafa Salam question no. Bawumia obia sebio oye aware kra onya aware. At least if you have a perception about Rosemont, Rosemont should be stopped. But Rosemont kept following Bawumia around the nation. Bawumia ko campaign and adwono wan be fiambe da Rosemont wom. Bawumia ko baby no peduane dia Rosemont wom. Bawumia ekoda hotel na adwo obi akoda Rosemont as an aide. Somebody trusted by Bawumia otumi wura ho. Until the question here is, says Salam Mustafa said, when Rosemont started following, nobody can follow the vice president without the vice president knowing. There are people who can be part of vice president entourage, but not everybody has the right to follow him closely. But Salam Mustafa said, when Rosemont started following, the word is following, 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 ordinary political talk. Iti ya mana efe ya chirechirem se ne baya obi ngina baby enka say e ka asama to obi so. Now, Salam Mustafa Kasano or say Bawumia had the UK program. Na Bawumia also called UK. Na yirenka ho ono kwa. Now, in the vice president's office, we are all aware Nipa handle vice president passport. Listen, Rosemont had the passport of the vice president with her. Rosemont edit sa passports no, edit kwa koma protocol officer no. Na Bawumia passport ka ho. Me ya ko Boadu. Enyo ba bia na betuma agye me passport ekuta unless I have something special with you. Enyo ba jenjen bia. Now we are talking about the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Oko UK. Now Rosemont na the passport eco protocol office. What are you telling me? Oh, catch him say Rosemont ne tumia owo Bawumia hono na limited. Are you mad? Into your see Rosemont at the list the protocol office no. Rosemont do on or say me din fa ka ho fa me passport shame na Bawumia na say fa me passport shame. Yeah, call UK. Iti Rosemont call no. Na okuta Bawumia passport and okuta group no moko and odu on say protocol officer. I am part of this trip, so I am adding my passport. Mustafa Salam Ekasano or say later they got to know say that is the decision Rosemont took without Mahamudu Bawumia knowing. The question here is, so Rosemont take a decision way, not decision way, a very dangerous decision. Now, can you say, yeah, Rosemont basically went against Emra Emma Obitumi vice president. Why didn't they sack Rosemont that day? Why didn't Mahamudu Bawumia say that this lady is a liar? This lady is basically doing things she's not supposed to do. Why didn't Bawumia come out to say sack her today or don't allow her to come close to my office? Mahamudu Bawumia never said that. From our information and from his own explanation, Rosemont was still working in the office of Mahamudu Bawumia. Remember, Bawumia Nebusa Mustafa Salam Kotiboto said, are you aware? There are two words we are working with here. Following and are you aware? Following, are you aware as a sentence? And do not forget, because Ebesaba, are you aware from Bawumia? And Mustafa Salamaka said, following Bawumia. It is a girl, no, and the document in the coy, and then the passport to come, and later finding out to say the vice president Mahmoud Bawumia has not instructed her to do that. What are we supposed to do? We are supposed to fire the girl that same day. Why didn't they fire the girl? The girl was still with Mahmoud Bawumia. So at a point, yes, Samia will commit him because so. Our Bawumia officer name more Denny. So the change need to be so. Meeting because of Bawumia officer per Salam Mustafa yanini enim yatie baby nsu afaye. Ya nyoma nyina nsu de ko. Ya factory nsu afa mu nyoma nyina mankofo asesa toilet paper nya. Ya dwene ye ho yatie baby ya nim hwe yanka bi nhemu adamudie na ye twen. Adamudie bribe na ye twen. Ghana for the debia ye twen bribe. Yeah, sorry, you need ye insure for your nyoma, you try light him, and kutra by them, walk a kaye, your mattress in other zoom, your food for your water, share fridge, insure for fridge master, into your jaye. Ya what chile, I did chia, yan at the Mudian can bribe, and I'm most of the master about the year chilum, quasi a four. Mustafa Salam Casano, or say, I go, LBB. Debi abeka gana bozo mo Jimmy am so Kevin mu ade me omo Jimmy tu abibi omo Jimmy se mole we Jimmy dem mole Mustafa Salam ka see imbre bi after passport incident ni see about Bawumia pam girl na girl no down eba office wo Bawumia nko ahye wa no call no akoma ne coffee no we pie otimi show 38 minutes 42 minutes Bawumia nche bia 13 seconds na girl no pie began to run on chair watch 12 seconds Bawumia dey on chair. Now Mustafa Salam ka say no see in brebi do na meeting chenchenche mu odene bi eba so ana empenifu a sebio omo de omo ehia se omo betena meeting mu na also omo tinem na omo meeting na abrayiwa no Bawumia te wo samia wukuti wo na party mu empenifu na abayiwa no bowura ho obowura no twe akonwa Bawumia office nkonwa miensa na ho ba ko ye ne de na yere de na ba ko akonwa ne ba besra na otena so na otwe ne yere de tena so. Hey boy August into Mustafa Salim chire mu no say oba no twe akonwa meeting ko so Mahamudu kasa impenfo ye din embema ka omhwe ato nkyɛn ɛsɛ kokuo etie nyansa efiri Bawumia hɔ ɛna abayewa no ɛtwe table akonwa twe na ɔtena so ɛhɔ ɛna samia wuku tontom ɔno ɛyɛ de abena kokɔ ne kɔ no wi a yɛkye no ɛna ɔno twa ne no sɛ na o meet na yɛyɛ wo adentina betinam ɛna gɛ no sɛ hwɛ bo boss no to no ɔne na semi metinam na at that moment wo Mahamudu Bawumia wo vice president abayo odi kind of passport akɔ pass protocol musi wa kodi atro wentuma mpam no wo ye meeting so wa intruded the meeting pulled a chair and sat and told the people there say wo Bawumia na also on tenacity what really happened from Salah Mustafa no girl nitina meeting end. So this is the scenario. A pimp enters a room where there are a lot of pimpies. Now the pimpies are there and almost change say meeting because so and the pimpter who is Bawumia because the girl is the pimp and then girl no kwara no mu yedwan e pimpies and omo se bi omo te ho no Bawumia omo ye pimpters omo no mo ye pimpim omo and at that time no sa situation no otumi say abedu a pimpilization situation obi antumi nka hwe so the pimpy enters. The pimpters are there, and then the pimpilization conversation goes on. Into at the internet, Bawumia to man, your bear man can say, "Hey, please get out. You are not part of this meeting. In fact, you don't have that capacity to be sitting here." Bawumia no jom. Every say, "Girl no come Bawumia coffee. Watch her 33 seconds, 18 minutes, 18 microseconds. No PA." Only the umbro 33 seconds. What chapa 38.2 seconds. No PA. Into the piano to rubber Bawumia officer. No amount of coffee. Into Ujina Okra. Orema 38.2 seconds. No PA. On check Bawumia de so be. Into Mustafa Salam nature him. Into Obusan say, "Hey, now about you yes so to me. About you a party no ban party no. About you yes no on Bawumia ho. And so Mustafa Salam asmo church him say about we are no na ninsa tuam, ninsa wom na otim." In some na in so to the hayo eh some or see in some okeka nyina no ni nyina happen concurrently ya ka say concurrently na say enoma didi bom anoma jaridi na achim police dia omu didi bom ya fa concurrently enoma didi bom a omu di omu ti so so poultry farm na enkoko didi obi aso your friend concurrent eating or see the okeka ye nyina passport and some samia wuku ka say owura Bawumia ni nyina happen concurrently ni nyina happen dey pe kwan so na ni nyina didi so na gina so baby gina na ekorenim na o see mbre bi do ye eno ko ne twa ne yemu no Mustafa Salam or the national the youth organizer of the NPP or your turning about Bawumia turning or your Bawumia close relation. In fact, or your Bawumia 8 ebambe mana or see asebi kura na eseno or see Rosemond at a point. Rosemond so called Bonia wedding na yampamuno or da hujinem. The pimpy is still in there. The pimper is still there and the pimptor is still around. The pimpy is there, the pimpter is there and the pimper is there. So you can see Rosemond yoma waye nyina no concurrently no they are still there and nobody has been able to say Rosemond you have been fired. No obian to mean kan ye adentra adenti no obian to mean kan ye. Why? Adentra makom na ba adana nana adwebro I say adentra why? Makom na ba I akom the bad na we say I adam why mudana makom na ba enti Mustafa Salam church no see young friend no kwanto nchen ene credit wa keka no kwampo da ne kitwam o se edumbre bi na afei Rosemond efre Bawumia papa I late acha o se imbre bi duye people mo jimi o wa betete Bawumia to nyina o just kufu yire mo jimi o se imbre bi bae na afei ura Bawumia officer get ni boma papa please can I come papa Zadzi just okay Zadzi and go for so or Fred Bawumia Zadzi in just get no Fred Bawumia papa and your papa and say Duncan William Jana no papa oh say your papa be a gumu I papa Bawumia son kashi papa I said you're not a hair no kuma the amount for kwaro mu complaining say I'm baby regard on the bear papa ediane girl na yesi onyo bia no na ebetuma ko South Central so akofo ba bia NPP ni so ono ba Bawumia aduane girl na muso onyo bia no ende oso ba Bawumia aduane e no safra Bawumia papa enye Duncan William je papa de se ne de awere mamu da ho ai boni bia ni ho oh papa Duncan papa o say na girl na e frɛ Bawumia papa Zazi ai because also oka Zazia DADY Dadzi into on person beka Dadzi no kan papa but na papa no emunya werem na mu de papa o say afei na Rosemond e frɛ Bawumia papa na o say asemi siye eno kwa na man who say bibi problem bi koso ene den ono na bie na no kan o say Mr. SN ntem mo afina mo ba no de mache why you late that I want why you late Mustafa Salam ya kasa no o say ade bi siye na ne political life ebe sin there ohun bi da o say eno na amane yes our live no for Ghanaians to know what is happening Rosemond ade a why ye unim say we nyina koso na Samira nim yeah we are make sure video fufuro bi Samira was aware now so papa ekosunyane papa enya papa oka papa na oka Duncan William enya Duncan William nyame de papa oh papa you see or see at a point papa Zazi Bawumia went to Sunyane Zazi papa Bawumia went to Sunyane na Bawumia ko Sunyane no you see enyumbre na yewie campaign nyina wejimi ne ho awie no and we have done it and we have performed better and ni nyina we the draws mu afo a obi ankoda no and again di esu esimu osu ya patana nyeye ya so one wa pivela na the draws kokko no obi ehu nyawotre ya so ma me ewo se da bi osu esu emu odene Zazi and ankofo pataga no say adenti na ade asa ye nyina yenkoda na Bawumia nkoda na ye nyina ga na tue sum o se Rosemond esunye ema ne nufu sunsuo e se osuna na tade afọ o se eno ena otena o se adena girl yi su santi no ankasa wo ho ena o se da bi there's a problem because ye ne papa eba sunyane ena ade asa akobo 11:45 ye koda e o se obia ekoda the hotel na ye nyina ade chia na yakohu papa now girl ni so sum ye busa na onka ya genu bia ya nyeye ya mani nsu onnom ya so onye fruit juice so onye don see mo se pepe je say on peshe ye bia champagne su po so onnom je say ye tumi ma no ele wonyo okam wo se na pantan ya ne ya je say ye tumi ma no den eye eburo bu nsuo opambo ya ma ne eburo bu nsuo ma nanom o se no and o su and obi se die na ekoso afa gani bira no I want to go and sleep in Papa's hotel. Hey! We suma esu na hini no wadane mame ode we su gisika we yase we su ama na hini no enti oye on so wa se wa asma kakra and I'm serious when you abotre adan me pesa me dap I want to sleep at Papa's hotel and close to his room and I go say why MVP ni enim da papa Zazi enti amanfo were shocked asem we nya na me kan yo eye Mustafa Salam na me metia no me I didn't know about this. I have no idea. Now the question is, Okasano, or say, Rosemond followed Bawumia to Sunyane. Did Bawumia say no? And he na Bawumia jinaka se mama Rosemond endimate because one Rosemond edin kan ako protocol office ako tantrum e se Bawumia cheno. Bawumia anya bibia. The same Rosemond abetina meeting when this otinem ama Samia ukaka se Rosemond mentinem ama Bawumia anka bibia Mahmudu Bawumia nim se Rosemond ye nyoma bi wo office wa sebio de oye no enho nye enya de pa Rosemond at a point any nkofo akoso obedua Bawumia duane Bawumia mpamo no Bawumia esa kosunyano no Rosemond edi nachi ekodu sunyane okoduru oso a Rosemond se wanda bebia Bawumia da ontiase ena osum Bawumia mpamo no a question is simple. We can go back a little bit and go listen to Insembia Rosemond Kani Mrebi about Mahmudu Bawumia and how Bawumia is not a man. Oba Jinoka say this guy is not a man. It is physical and spiritual. Because Ansan Oba Mbien Anonka say you are not a man enough to make decisions onimu inside out. Sebio onim sebio obema tintin san yetie onim unipa banya woye. When this lady time of free MPP ekotena TV so eye bold catch Ghana for say onim Bawumia onye bema mu onye bema ehwa ebode nantema obetumi akasa se bema ama wahye nipa so ama nipa edi nechi. It time again free MPP no na all can send me nipa bebre say na again we edie na wonim. And Mustafa Salam Abakache say Rosemond knew a lot, has a lot, felt a lot, was in there and experienced a lot from Papa. Man was emphatic. Rosemond say Mahmoud Bawumia was not just anybody or just a boss to me. He was like Papa. I feel you are connecting the dots. Go on internet TV, so see, Bawumia was not just a boss to me. He was like my father. Bawumia treated me like my father. My father gave me shelter. Your father will always give you shelter. Your father will give you care. Your father will give you whatever you need as a young lady. Your father will provide your needs. Your father will make sure when you go wrong, he will rebuke you indoors. But outside, he will not have the balls to tell people this is what I did. So the girl was using words, figurative language here. Or say Bawumia to say me papa. Internet no friend office papa. It Obetna TV so say this man, it was like a father to me. And when a lady passionately and quietly sit on national television to say the vice president was not just a boss but like a father, it means she was trying to let you know it was not a relationship, a boss servant or boss subordinate. It was beyond that. And now quote Nimokaka said, you know something? This man has no courage. He is not a man. What will make a woman sit on national television to say he wasn't a man? He lacked leadership. And when a woman tells a man you lack leadership, it means when you are indoors, you don't have the capacity to act like a man. Unisa akukudro no. Papa did not have that akukudro to take control, take charge, be the man. So the girl was basically sending a message to Bawumia that you are weak. And not just weak politically, you are weak beyond being my boss. Inti so ti obanen sem na ode eye de reconnect sibia eye ketra ne kan no to eye Salam Mustafa nsema na so oban we tey azen. We tey. Besia na tey asam Mustafa Salim onso ben wa betain. Infantilika de asam na tey a asia na tu tokura bedem emu abie. Inti say utina butina unya butetie de oba ne kan ye ene de Mustafa Salam ebe de ebe confirm ya we toy asam na toy, meaning infantinika say we toy na say tu na sen we tu intokura beda ho eliki enyunu we toy. Inti conclusively to end on this, because there's a part 2 to end on this, no, it means say Salam Mustafa be tu ayetokuru na se or the tokuro abeto asem na se yen nyina yehu say asem no the Bluetooth connected from Papa to Edien Rosemond, and Nitina Papa could not be a man to sack Rosemond from his office until Rosemond was ready, decided to walk.